YouTube for about a year now. Yeah, you probably was one of the like when I first started going live. You
Mm-hmm.
was one of the first people that actually came on my lives when I dropped the link. Probably around this time last year. Probably
Yes,
around this
sir.
time last year, you was driving in a truck, and I didn't know why everybody in the chat was saying why so serious. That because I didn't watch you prior to then, but then I started watching you. Everybody was saying why so serious. I'm like, what is everybody talking about? I
Right.
didn't peep it at that point. But yeah, so I've been following you ever since then, watching your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing you go through the ups and downs, the trials and the tribulations that a lot of people that came into the space within the past couple of years has
Mm-hmm.
had to endure. So we're going to get into that as well. But first, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and let us know who you are and where you're checking in from.
All right. Well, I go by the content creator name of Serious Lanes, aka Serious Mindset. Um, I've been on a YouTube journey, not just on box truck, but just in general. Started out with fitness, and then migrated over to car content, and then now transportation trucking. I don't like to say box trucking because literally it's just not putting myself in a box. So we're gonna get into that journey even more. But I've been doing YouTube for about 10 years, as you see, comfortable with the camera.
Hmm.
Because of good old Mark the mentor and Kirky Fresh. Shout out to my guy
Okay.
Kirky Fresh.
Shout out to Kirk.
Now I invested into a microphone podcast. So now we just evolving
Okay.
within time, right?
Okay. All right. All right. So let's get started.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about your journey. Why and how did you get into box trucking? Tell us about the beginning. Start us from the beginning.
Sheesh. So when I got out the military, I always wanted to start a business. I always been helping people with their business, meaning like, oh well, hey Kobe, my name
What
is Kobe.
what
I didn't
what
know.
what part of the military? First, you gotta let us know what part
Hey,
of the
come
military.
on, man. Look,
Hey
shout out to
man.
my
I,
veterans. Shout out to those serving active duty. But we Army, the only
okay.
service.
Okay. Well, it's only right. I gotta say, I speak for everybody in the room. We appreciate your service.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right. So
sir.
we appreciate your service. We appreciate you protecting us because I'm not going over there. I ain't going over there. so, so whenever
Hey,
I see people that was in the army, I salute you because I ain't going. I can't
man,
send me no way. I'm too old now. So
no, so you do have to. I got in at 29. So I
mhm,
already had life before the military. So when I got in with a bachelor's degree. I got in as an enlisted soldier, meaning E4. So
mhm,
I'm basically, long story short, the common story is, hey, my recruiter didn't let me know that, hey, I could have got in with officer school or whatnot. So I was
mhm,
already agitated as well, sitting in basic training. But that's a whole nother story. I'm probably gonna do that on my podcast on my channel. I'm gonna go over that story. But started out
okay,
in the got out the military. When I got out the military, I did double and dabble between other job careers.
mhm,
My field is computer engineering, so I have a computer engineering degree. But
okay,
I didn't want to deal with corporate America. I didn't want to deal with corporate America. I didn't want to deal with the whole going back and forth, making people millions of dollars, making other company millions of dollars.
mhm,
Um, Dealing with the political side of, hey, well, this is my money when it's really not your money because you're an employee. So let's
mhm,
not get that twisted. Why so serious? Um, and then my wife was like, "Hey, babe, hey, you see these people in this box truck? They making that money." This was around the pandemic, right?
What year is
So,
this? Tell us what year
oh,
is this?
this was last year. This is so we were observing everything between the end of 22. So basically, we were building up to that, right? And my wife, she was just sending me Facebook posts, screenshot. Oh, look, man, look, man. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool, cool. I'm like, okay, cool, cool. How much is
Mhm,
this gonna cost?
mhm,
So we just done a lot of research, and then we stumbled, of course, YouTube University, right? And then we
okay,
stumbled, on Kirky Fresh. So
Mhm.
everything that mind you, it's a lot of people talking about box truck. But
Mhm.
the thing that stuck with me, because I seen Kirky Fresh, I was just like, man, I like how he spit. It don't seem like he trying to entice you. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know when somebody
Mhm.
putting out information, they trying to entice you, like, oh, buy this, it's shiny,
Mhm.
it's new, you can do this. Kirk didn't do that. Kirk was literally
Mhm.
telling you what it was, what it is. You got to do this, you got to do that.
So this had to be 21. You said towards the end of 22. You
Oh
must
yeah,
mean
yeah,
the end
yeah.
of
21.
21.
So 21.
Okay.
So 2020 is when we was doing our research towards the end, during that holiday peak
Mhm.
season. So we didn't know anything
Mhm.
about that, right?
Right, right,
So
right, right.
the starting of 2021, that's when we started to go heavy investing. I told my wife before we do anything, I said, who gonna drive this box truck?
Mhm.
She said, you. I said,
Mhm.
what?
So you saying your wife made you get into box trucking?
She didn't make me do nothing. Let me
Oh,
tell you
okay.
something. I'm a man by heart, sir. I'm a man
Okay.
by
All
heart.
right.
So
All right. All right.
at the
I don't want you ain't gonna have no flashbacks or nothing when I drop these
no,
bombs or nothing. I
no,
don't want you
no,
to okay, just making sure. Let's make it sure.
no.
All right.
But on a serious note, when I came back from overseas and we relocated to JBLM in Pacific Northwest in Washington, I had a
Mhm.
hard time sitting in a U-Haul driving up those mountains. I was just like, I had to stop like every 2-3 hours because I was, that military that stuff wears down on you. So I was
Mhm.
just like, who gonna drive this box truck? Because I barely can even sit in the truck now. She
Mhm.
said, you. And I was just like, work for somebody else, look crazy, or start something and try to build up. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right, 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 right.
so distinguishing between the two. And
Mhm.
lo and behold, we started our LLC in February, and we did our consultation with Kirk on
February
partials.
February 21 or February 22.
February 21. So we've been
Okay.
in the transportation box truck specifically between a year and a half. So it's been about a year and a half. Year and a half.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So
So
you did your LLC in February 21.
21,
You got a
21.
you got a consultation with Kirk sometime because Kirk came on YouTube in I think
January.
November
Yeah.
November 21.
So it was November. So I seen him. I stumbled upon him around January. That's when I was watching a lot of his content, and I was like, "Look, babe, look at this Jamaican guy.
Okay.
Look at this Jamaican guy." So yeah.
Okay. Okay. But you when you stumbled upon Kirk, were you already running in the truck, or did you get a consultation with Kirk prior to getting the truck and starting before you were running?
So so this was prior. So this was actually prior to getting in the truck or whatnot. So Kirk was
Hmm.
just giving you know how it is when you just start a new class or whatever. You don't know what's going on. You just like, huh,
Right.
huh. He's speaking all this other stuff,
Hmm.
but the most important part was the journey after the consultation, right?
Hmm.
That was the unique part, the starting part on that. So February, we actually our authority became active February, March, somewhere between the middle of March or whatnot. So
Hmm.
that was a journey as well because you just sitting on the sideline watching everybody in their videos on YouTube,
Hmm.
watching everybody other testimonies on social media about, oh, you gotta get in, right? So you know
Hmm.
how that is, especially when you're getting into something. You feel like everybody is coming into it, right?
Hmm. You was gonna say something?
No, no, no.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, you looked off the camera. Okay, I was making sure you straight. All right, so then you had your consultation with Kirk, and then what happened from there? How'd that go?
So I started my journey out with a rental. So that's when I wanted to document my journey on YouTube. So I've been on YouTube again for over like 10 years. Like it's
What kind of
crazy.
rental? Who'd you go through?
Oh
You gotta
man.
tell us everything, man. It's your testimony. We need to know it all, bro. Who'd you
Budget
go with?
on a god dog it budget. Budget on a
Budget.
budget.
All right, what was
Budget
your rate?
on a budget.
What was your rate?
My my rate, ooh, I think I was running at about 30 cents, 30 cents a mile. I remember I was talking with the representative. Her name is Lori. I never forget her name because my biggest thing as far as business and
Mm-hmm.
outside of business is building relationships, right?
Right.
So I'm very it's just one of those things where you got to use your mouthpiece to be able to articulate and get the things you want, right? A lot of people can't do that.
Right.
So I'm sitting over here talking with her and I'm like, yeah, I do YouTube and all this other stuff. And, I'm like, hey, well, I can bring people to you or whatnot. And needless to say, that didn't do anything because they was just like, well, yeah, well, that's a lot of people that want a box truck. So you in the same line with them. You know what I'm saying? So you thinking you try to get in front of the line, right?
Right. Right. Right.
So
Right.
I end up getting the box truck around the budget box truck around February because we got the box truck early because the wait period, right? So it was
February
just
what?
like it was
22?
like it was like no February 1 yeah 22 goodness gracious it's 23 golly man oof.
Okay.
So end of February 22 we sat on the box truck for maybe about a week and a half 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So mind you, the box truck, our authority is not even our MC is not active, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
guess what? The reason why we got the box truck again because of the wait period. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with that wait period came, oh man, we got to get on the road because guess what? You still got to come and pay that bill.
Yeah.
If you ain't paying that weekly fee, which that weekly fee was because we didn't run no miles. It was like $750 or something like that. Oh my
So you
god.
so you was paying 750 a week. What was your mileage rate?
Mileage rate was about 30. I think it was 30 cents a mile, but we didn't move. Remember, we didn't
Whew.
move because
But you was gonna, but when you did start moving though eventually. So
oh yeah. So
you was paying 30 cents a mile, 750 a week,
mhm.
right? And
Yeah,
what was your
I was running
insurance?
like a dog.
What was your
Insurance.
insurance?
Oh man, 1900. Lord have mercy,
Okay.
Jesus. You know,
1900.
going through this talk with you on a testimony is so
Mm-hmm.
crazy because you
Mm-hmm.
don't realize how much work ethic you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the 1900, the box truck, the budget box truck, I was paying 1500 total once our authority became active. So give or
Mm-hmm.
take, oh man, 15 4, what's that? That's over like 5 6 grand, huh? 5 6 grand?
Mm-hmm.
5 6 grand a month, not including insurance, and then taking care of home.
Plus the miles. How many miles were you running when you first
Man,
got started?
I was averaging around 3,000 4,000 miles. I was moving because you got to think about it. I was running partial, so because that's what I got into with Kurt was partial. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just lining them up.
Okay. All right. All right, let's get into some interesting stuff. We're gonna jump around.
Oh,
So I'm gonna ask you
oh,
some questions, but we're gonna jump around. So because this is your first about when you first got started. So you about what February 2022 right now, right?
yes, sir.
All right, so hold that thought right there.
Oh,
Um, let me see which way I want to go with you. Which way I want to go with you. Uh, let's get straight into it, man. Let's get straight
come
into it, man.
on, let's
how
go.
how how has the box truck industry evolved or changed since when you first got into it?
So what's so funny is I was watching everybody make uh talk about these rates, right? So when I got
Mm-hmm.
in February 22, March, April, that's when diesel started to hit up.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got in the industry, I didn't see the money that everybody was talking about. I got in the industry again. When you add partials kind of offset everything if you know how to work it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see that big of what people were talking about like that. If you were trying to make that 8 to 10, which I was able to do,
Mm-hmm.
you had to work like a dog. You gotta you so what I have noticed again, everybody was talking about these. Oh, I can't make no money, and that's when rates start to go down, right? So people were complaining like, "Man, I can't live off of this. I was making $5 a mile, $6. Now they talking about $2 and $2.50 a mile." So the rates start to go down tremendously, and I'm sitting here coming at the end of it, right, or the middle towards the end, And I'm
Mm.
watching everybody complain, and I'm just looking like this. I'm just like, shoot, y'all complaining, but I'm in right now, and I'm over here grinding my butt off. I didn't get in to see what everybody was getting, if that makes sense. So I came in at the back end to say you got to hustle to pay these weekly rates for that budget rental. Does that make sense? So that 1,500 had to get paid every week.
So you was paying 750, and then with the miles, you average out
Mileage,
to
yep.
about 15. You average out to
That's
about
what.
1,500 a week.
Yes,
So
sir.
you was paying
That's
six. So you was roughly paying about 6,000 a month for a rental.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then Kirk told me, he said, man, he said, I told you when we did our consultation, you're gonna have to get out that rental. You're gonna have to get out that rental. Because at the end of the day, that's literally what's gonna either tire you out or just put you on the back end wall. Because what ended up happening was, as I was referring people, they were telling me their stories. Mind you, I'm referring people to this lady named Lori at the budget place, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they were telling me that they were capped off. I'm like, capped off? What you talking about? I don't have mileage that's capped off.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm making my payments and I'm talking to her, she said, "Hey, send me a picture of your actual odometer, your odometer reading, right? Your mileage."
Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Yeah, by the way, we're gonna cap you off on your mileage." I was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "We didn't agree on that when we signed the contract." And she
Mm.
was like, "Yeah, well, it's a lot of people that's taking our trucks and they're running it and then they're not bringing it back for maintenance and all this other stuff." So
Mm.
I started to see a shift between how budget was orchestrating. I'm just speaking for budget. I don't know anything about Enterprise, Ryder, Penske. I don't know anything about that. All I know is what budget was doing. So specifically, she said across the board, they capping you off at mileage, right? So if you decide to even go outside that mileage range, right? Guess what? They come to pick that truck up no matter if you had a load or not, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It, they didn't even care. So I started to see the shift between how budget was moving between people still coming into the industry getting those rentals, if that makes sense, right? So on top of my head getting peeled back, I started to say, okay, what am I going to do? Because you got to think about it. If you running partials, you got to move. You have to move. Not got to. You have to move. So if you can't move, then that's taking money out your pocket, out the company pocket, right? Think about it. That
Mm-hmm.
growth start to come down if your mileage cap is limited at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, man, it's time for us to get a truck. We didn't have no money for no truck. We didn't have
What
no money
month
for.
is this? What month is
Uh,
this?
this came around January, February, March, April, May, sometime around April, May. So it didn't
All right.
happen. It happened quick. The
So
change happened quick. The
so
change happened
May of
quick.
so May of 2022. Hold that thought. All right, we got 55 people in here. We got 37 likes. Come on, y'all, hit that like button. Hit that like button. This man is
Yeah, hit
giving
that
his
like button.
testimonial. Hit that
Oh,
like
we
button.
going
Come
deep.
on now.
We
Hit
going
hit
deep.
that hit that like button. I got some instrumentals over here. So hit that
Man, come
like
on.
button, or we gonna be writing raps. So hit that
Hey,
like button. Hit that like
hit you
button. Hit that like button.
hit you with that Wasso series.
All right. So May of 2022, you realized it was time to get a truck.
Yes,
But
sir.
you said you didn't have the capital for it.
Mm-mm.
So walk us through it, because we know you got a truck. So how did you come up with the
So
capital? What
bef-
happened?
before I got the truck, I actually me and Kirk worked into we became business partners. So we became
Mm,
business partners, and to where I was driving his box truck. So we
mm,
worked out an agreement or whatnot. I'm not gonna get into the numbers on that, but we worked out an agreement between me using his truck and me getting on his insurance and things like that, right? And
So
that
so
that
so so you turned in the budget, and then you came and got rented one of his trucks. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yep. So at the same time, I noticed that I was still doing somewhat of a rat race, if that makes sense, because again, that's not my truck. And you when
Mm-hmm.
you actually use somebody else asset, you still are going to have to pay a bill, right? No matter what. So
Mm-hmm.
it did help eliminate the overhead, if that makes sense. So it did lower the overhead, but at the same
Right.
time, I felt like as a business person, I was still running that rat race of still going hard in the paint, going hard in the paint, and I documented that like crazy, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Oh, I wasn't. That dog was there. That dog, I was there. I was there.
But that's good.
So
That's good.
so from that point on, I started to say, okay, some got to give. So I'm in this truck. I'm thinking, when you're driving, you're on the road, OTR over the road. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You just start evaluating what can you do. So I started calling my banks, Navy Fed, started calling different lenders or whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
my credit is good. I'm like, what's going on? So this is when I started to realize even more in the depth about what transportation is to these banks. And if y'all watching this, I want y'all to understand this. If you are trying to go for a quote unquote loan for a truck or whatever it may be, you are high liability, especially being a new transportation company. So guess what? How they get you is they get you with that egregious interest rate, right? So so I'm applying for
All right.
what you got?
When you were renting the budget truck, I hate to take you back, but you got to
No,
cover
come
this.
on.
When you were renting the budget truck, were you running at were you running in the black or were you running in the red?
Man, surprisingly, I was running in a black. That's what's so
Okay.
crazy.
What
And
was your
it wasn't
what
no,
was
no, no, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot by any means. It
so I'm
was
gonna ask you. So
yeah,
what were you
yeah.
net? What were you netting when you
Oh
were running with the
man.
budget truck?
Net, because you gotta think about it. I had a house. I had a house, got a
No,
wife,
that
got
don't
kids.
that don't that see that don't make me teach on this show today. All
Man,
your
come
personal
on.
listen, hold on. All that personal stuff don't got nothing to do with the
Oh,
business.
okay, okay, all
So
right, okay.
so what was the business after all fixed and variable costs? We don't care about your house. We
So
talking about what the business was.
at
Uh-huh.
at the time, we were doing numbers at the time. I would say it was around, whew, this is crazy. It was around 6. I think it was around 5 or 6 take home net.
A
5 or
month?
6 yeah. Now
A
mind
month?
you, you gotta think about it. It didn't last that long. So you had a couple of months because the rate started to go down. So remember,
Uh,
I'm coming in on the back end, but I'm running partial. So I'm still able to maintain what people are talking about. Oh, well, I can't do this. I'm running partials. I'm getting about $3-4 a mile while
uh,
people sitting there saying I can't do this.
okay, but here let's break this down. You was paying because we this testimonial, so we want to hear it. We want to hear it all. So
Come on.
you was spending about 1,500 a week on average. That was for 750 for the truck, right?
Yep.
That
Yep.
was 30 cents a mile, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say you at running about 3,000 miles a week, right?
Yes, sir.
So it means you was running. If you was running 3,000 miles a week, you was
Oh
running.
yeah. I was
All
moving.
right. So that's okay. So you were spending about you said another 750 in miles. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
15 750 and
Yeah.
750 is 15, right?
Yeah.
So now you would spend another 1,900 a month, right?
Don't forget the
And
diesel.
with your insurance. So what was your
Mm-hmm.
total cost? So what were you grossing a week, and what were you
I think
netting?
so on average I was grossing between 7 to 8. On a good week, it was 9. I was close to 10K a week. I was close to 10K. So I was hitting a good average. I was hitting a good average. So 8. So if I average, let's just say on the low end 7, 4. So what's that? That's 35? No.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I can't even count. 28. Goodness gracious.
You said
28
you were netting 28.
a month. A month. We talking about 28 a month. So on the low
Okay.
end, if I average around 7,000 a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 28. It's $28,000.
Oh, you grossing $28,000 a month. Okay. All right. You
Right,
had me
month. Yeah,
confused
yeah,
then.
yeah. I see
Okay.
you
Okay.
paused on me.
Okay.
You
No. I'm just trying to get it all together. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is when the market was inflated.
Yeah, no, yeah, most definitely.
Okay. All right. So okay, those are your numbers. All right. So $7,000 a week you were grossing, 28,000 dollars a month. You said you were bringing home, and this
Hmm.
is when you were renting a truck, right? And you were
Right.
spending
This
about
yeah,
15 a week plus whatever your insurance was. You calculate that into plus
19. Yeah.
whatever your diesel was. So
Yeah,
your variable cost.
Diesel was a killer. Diesel was a killer. That's you
Okay.
remember that's when Diesel was excruciating.
Depending on what part of the country you in, could have went $6, $7 if you was on the West Coast.
I
Oh,
avoided the West Coast like the bubonic plague. I didn't play with it too
okay,
much. I tried to play with it, but it wasn't friendly as far as coming out. Right.
okay, okay. All right. So where do we leave off? We in May. What
Hmm.
the heck? We in May, right?
Hmm.
So this is when you said y'all had to go get a truck. You was renting Kirk's truck. You don't want to give us the
Hmm.
numbers for what you was renting Kirk's truck, but obviously it was less. It was
Right.
less. Hold on, bro. Let me. Obviously it was less. It was less than what you were
Budget.
paying budget,
Most
right?
definitely.
All right.
Most
All right.
definitely.
So talk to me. How did you guys get? How did you end up getting the truck?
So I end up getting the truck uh by looking at whatever asset I had around the house, right? So one of the things about I guess business is you find whatever you can to make it work, to make it happen, right?
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, I looked at the truck that I had when I was in the army. So what's so crazy is for my army bonus, I paid off my truck. So this
Hmm.
was around the time where used cars were highly priced, if that makes sense, right? So I called Navy Fed and I told Navy Fed, I said, "Hey, well, can I do a an asset what is it? I think it's an asset loan or whatnot. So you can actually do a personal loan, and the asset would guarantee the uh the loan, if that makes sense, right? So I
Hmm.
had a paid off Ram truck. They gave me $20,000 for my truck. For my
Hmm.
truck. So basically I had to sign my title off to Navy Fed. Oh yeah.
So you didn't trade the truck in.
No, no, no. I didn't trade the truck in. I still have the truck, but I put a so basically what it is like I'm asking you, I say, Mark, man,
A title loan.
yeah. So yeah, you can call it a title loan. So they call it the asset loan. So you can actually give them they'll actually appraise whatever. They didn't look at it. All they did was they put it in a system. Now remember at the time, this where used cars were everybody was trading in their cars for top dollar, right?
Okay. Right.
So basically title loan, just like you said. I
Uh
basically
huh.
signed the title over to Navy Fed. Navy Fed the next day gave me 10 racks. I went up there. I was already shopping, and this is when it just go even more crazy because I went up to the bank out in Houston, the
Uh
Navy
huh.
Fed out in Houston, and they gave me a, a check, a check in hand, and I went and deposited that thing. Had $20,000 in my bank. So that was a that was a nice little hit right
All right.
there.
So did you pay them back or they still got the title?
Nah, they still got the they still got the
Uh,
title.
okay.
I ain't gonna lie to
All
you. I'm
right.
keeping 100, right? We gonna keep it
All
100.
right. All right. So they still got the title. They gave you a check, and then you went shopping for a truck.
Yeah.
All right. Talk. Tell us about it. Talk about it.
So I was shopping around. Now, mind you, this is when box trucks were through the road wazoo as well, right? So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's trying to get top dollar for all these box trucks. They want 70,000, 80,000, 60,000. So as I was doing my research, I pulled up Ryder. So I saw that Ryder was actually giving military discounts. So they did a 10% discount. So I seen a Hino box truck. It was they wanted 60,000 for it or whatnot. Went up to the dealership, talked to the matter of fact, I still have footage on it. I didn't release it on my channel, so I need to release that too. But
Mm-hmm.
going through the process, they wanted 60,000. I end up getting a discount 10%, so that put me down around when tax hit 53, and then remember I talk about talking and being able to articulate yourself. So as I was talking to the salesman, um, his son was in the military. So
Mhm.
guess what? Hey, okay, well, I'm gonna tell my boss that um, I told you that you can get another discount on top of the military discount or whatnot, and I'm gonna see if he's gonna honor that. So I
Mhm.
end up getting a box truck for 50,000. 50,000 as they wanted 60,000 originally. So they wanted 60,000. That was a blessing because man, those
Mhm.
he knows come a dime a dozen as far as the good price on them, especially I think it was I think I got it at whew, I think it was 220,000 miles. So
Mhm.
so that was a nice little hit. But man, this is when it get a little crazy, man. When I went to go pick this thing up, he it- you want to know where it came from?
Sure.
Minnesota, Minnesota,
Okay.
Minnesota. So what
All
you
right.
don't
Well,
know is what you don't know.
I know y'all down south people don't like up north. Y'all don't like nothing from up north.
Can't stand it,
What?
man.
What? It had rust under the bottom or something? Why y'all
It
scared of
did.
rust for?
So because man, you look, man, the boat. So what's so funny is, man, those bolts that's rusted on. Matter of fact, I got one right here. I'm gonna show you one. I got one right here. Broke off. Some of the bolts broke off or whatnot because of rust. So when I got up there, the pictures didn't show rust. The pictures did
Hmm.
not show rust by any means. I got up there,
Okay.
they spicked and spanned it, they cleaned it, and I'm looking at it, and the truck was sagging. So it had airbags. So
Hmm.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, why is this truck sagging? I'm looking at the frame. I said, oh my God. Now, mind you, the
Hmm.
way the bank worked, the bank was like, hey, you can't pick up this truck until we pay them. So are you sure we need to send them the money? And I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that was the only way I was gonna be able to pick it up, right? So that means there was no refund. There was no refund. So once you say, yeah, send that money over to Ryder, you stuck with it, if that makes sense, right? So
Hmm.
the type of uh loan that I got was a oh man. Oh man. And it's gonna come back to the story towards the end. What type of loan was this? Oh my God. I forgot what type of loan I got. Man, it's one of those excruciating loans, but I'm gonna get into that. But when I got up there,
A hard. Well, it wasn't a hard money loan. If you with
no, it
Navy
wasn't.
Federal, they not
No,
gonna
it
give
wasn't.
you a hard
No, no,
money
no. So
loan.
it wasn't with Navy Federal. It was with a commercial company. So Navy Federal provided the cash. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So Navy Federal provided the money. So I had the
Hmm.
money. I had I had hard cash in my hand, and then I
Hmm.
went to a commercial lender to actually secure the actual loan to get the truck, if that makes sense. Because remember, I had $20,000 as a down payment. That's my down
Right.
payment,
That you got
and
from Navy Federal
right that I got for
for the
Navy Federal
off the title loan.
off my truck. Yes, sir. So that's how that
Okay.
happened.
All right.
So with with
So
with that, damn, what kind,
so
man, you
so
got
where did you secure? Where did you secure funding for the truck? Because you confused me now.
so I had to go to a lender because you got to think about it. I didn't have $50,000 to get this truck. I had to
Right.
do a down payment. So I
Okay.
reached out to a commercial uh commercial lender or whatever for vehicles or whatnot. So
Okay.
because remember I told you I tried originally before I went to Navy Fed, I was getting denied. I was getting denied because didn't nobody want to lend out money for quote unquote a new transportation company. Does that make sense?
Somebody told me that recently. It, you know, somebody told me that recently. Somebody, a subscriber, maybe somebody was coaching. I've never heard of that before, so it must be some new stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead. But yeah, I've heard of it. You the second person in the past 2 3 weeks that said that. So yeah. But go
Yeah.
ahead. I'm listening.
So with this company, so basically what they did is they actually locked in the loan. So I had to pay Ryder a 10,000 to hold it, and then I had to give them the rest of the money so they can pay Ryder the full deposit. So basically 20,000 is some change in the hole at this point, right?
Hmm.
So once I went to Ryder, looking over everything, looking underneath the hood, looking at it was nothing I can do at this point. So it was my truck. So whatever whatever what was going on with that truck or whatever it was, I'm
Mm-hmm.
stuck with it, right? So I'll
Okay.
never forget this, man. I looked at the coolant. The coolant was low. I'm looking at everything. I'm just like, man, what the heck is going on? I asked the guy, I said, man, can y'all put some coolant in this thing? He was like, oh yeah. I said, oh my God. Do you not know a week? What you got?
No, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm just getting ready for my next question.
A week driving this truck. So I drove the truck down back to Dallas.
Uh huh.
Um, a week running a load, because I was in Texas. I was running a load in Texas. I'll never forget this. The AC ended up going out. The AC ended up going out on this Ryder truck, man. And what's so crazy is Ryder gives you a certain timeline to make a claim.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't purchase extended warranty, but they give you a certain time period to make a claim if you didn't purchase the warranty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told them, I said, look, I purchased this truck, uh, AC not working, this and that. I went to AutoZone, tried to put in some Freon and all that other crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Still wasn't even coming on, man. Little did I know the AutoZone guy, he
The
went underneath the
compressor,
truck,
the compressor was bad.
compressor belt broke.
Okay.
So it must have been already ruined at that point because when I got in the truck, oh, I was like, man, this thing blow cool. Oh man, I'm feeling good. Man, it took a week before that thing just started having trouble. And then the airbag, remember I told you the airbag was low? So the
Mm-hmm.
airbag was hissing. And it didn't dawn on me because I'm like, okay, I have air. So when I was picking up loads and I'm going to the side of the truck, all I hear is I'm like, man, what the hell? I get underneath the truck. I had some spray. I sprayed the bag, start bubbling up. I said, man, y'all gotta fix this. And they were hesitant on fixing it, and I told them I was gonna do a review. I told them I was gonna do the review. The sales guy, because I guess they commission is tied into their commercial review or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him how disappointed I was. Oh man, I wrote an article dang near about the guy or whatnot. About not about him, but just about the truck and about how I felt manipulated or whatnot. Man, they
Mm-hmm.
took that truck within the shop at IP Truck. Man, they fixed everything. They literally fixed everything.
Let me. I want to ask some questions about the getting the truck, because the whole purpose of this show, the reason why I created it, for people to tell their testimonials, and it gives people that are in the space an opportunity to pick up things, either to do or not to do from other people's experiences, and also people that uh, are watching or going to watch the replay for months and years to come. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Things they can look out for if they're looking at this content, as far
Mm-hmm.
as research on how to go about getting in the space. So you basically, because this is kind of unique the way you did this situation as
Oh
far as
yeah. Oh yeah.
sourcing the funding. So
Oh yeah.
basically, what you're telling me right now is you have two loans out for your truck.
Oh man. Yes, that is
So
correct.
you
Yes,
you
sir.
so you got Navy Federal on the title
Yes.
loan for
Yeah.
$20, for 20,000.
Yeah, so basically, you might as well say I'm basically buying my truck again. So basically, you
So
might as well say I'm buying my truck again.
okay. So for
My
in
Ram.
layman's term, so you got a loan out for 20 grand
Yep,
on a title loan for your Ram, and
that is
then
correct.
you have the remaining, as far as the funding for the remaining balance of the truck with a third party lender.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
It's not a bank though. It's a
No,
third
it's
party
not.
lender.
Yes, a third
Okay.
party lender,
All
and,
right.
and
So
and we can go deep into that because that's a
no, we don't gotta
the
go
learning
deep.
lesson. No, we're gonna get in the learning lesson on that because I
Okay.
didn't talk about it in my. I plan on talking about it on my channel because the learning lesson on that is I'm trying to think of the funding type because when man we go on because we
Let
gonna
let
talk
let
about this journey. Yeah,
let because that's why I want to. So I just want to get to the bottom of this. So basically, you're paying every month. You're paying two bills for this truck. You're paying Navy Federal, and you're paying the third
essentially,
party lender.
essentially, you can say that. Yep.
And what are the interest rates, if you don't mind me asking? Because you're paying two
Um.
different loans for this truck.
So the interest rate on the commercial is around, I think it's around 18. I think it's around 18 because remember it's commercial. So the commercial interest rate, that's where they make money at. That's where they make
Hmm.
money at being a new transportation company. Because I didn't understand it either because I'm like, man, look at my credit or
I
whatnot.
I think that's a tactic that they're using since the pandemic to people that just don't know any better. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I have to look into it. You're the second person that's told me that. So I'm gonna actually do some deep research in that. And then for the Navy Federal, I'm pretty sure that's under 10%, right?
Right. Yep. That's under
Okay.
10%. And you know
So
what? You know what's so crazy about Navy Fed? So what they said was so let me put somebody on game, right? So if you call somebody at Navy Fed and you say, hey, look, I got this truck that I own or whatnot. I want to do a personal loan. I got this asset. I got this actual blue title. I want to get how much would you give me for this title for XYZ? They're gonna give you an amount, whatever it may be. And they're gonna say, okay, well, your payments is going to be $150 at 5%. Contingent if you send this title within the next 30 days. But if you don't send this title, Mr. Mark, we gonna jack up that interest rate to 10 to 14%. Does that make sense? So basically, what they telling you is, hey, well, we don't know if you actually had this title. We gonna give you the money based on what you telling us because you're a member. But if you don't give us this title within the next 30 days, we gonna jack up that interest rate. So what you think you paying 450, you might be paying $300 or $350 or whatnot. Does that make sense? So
yeah.
it's yeah, I was just like, man, I was scratching my head like, man, do I want to give them this title? Do I want to just go ahead and just do my due diligence and just work, to pay it off or whatnot?
So what are you paying total with both loans combined? What are you paying total for this truck?
1800, 1800, 1800,
1800. And what are you
1800
paying?
some
And
change.
what are you paying for the insurance right now?
So insurance went down. I have a clean record. I
What
don't
were you
I don't
paying
have
then? What were you paying then?
19. So I was paying 19 last year. So
What are you paying now?
2022. So now it went down to 1234, 1235 progressive. Lord, I hate them. I'm shopping
Uh,
around right now as we speak.
so last year you was paying about 3,700 a month for
Oh man, it was a
the
killing.
truck and the insurance combined.
It was a killing. It was a killing.
All right, all right. So
It was
let's
a
get
killing.
back. All right, so now we figured that out because when you was talking about all these different loans and this that,
Man, look, my
I got a little
situation, my
confused.
situation is unique, man. That's why I say, I hear people with excuses. I say, you have no idea what other people are going through, but you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. I don't project it as, man. No, you got to go out and get it.
I want to
You got to
ask you a
go out.
question, but I ain't gonna ask you that. I'll ask you that offline. Uh, let's get back to where we left off. All right, so the truck broke down. You threatened them with a review.
Yep.
They did the right thing. They
Mm-hmm.
fixed it for you. You
Mm-hmm.
picked it up out the shop. You got on the road. Boom.
Yep.
What's next?
Boom. What's next is just working, but I'm still working with that same intensity, but not too much, if that makes sense, right? So now
Why
the
not?
because that burden of I gotta pay every week, I gotta pay somebody every week was not over my head, if that makes sense. So now, so now, so now, rather than paying XYZ a week or whatnot, it's
Mm-hmm.
basically lump sum into a month. So now I have a monthly payment of what 1800 a week. I mean a month, 1800 a month between the truck and the box truck.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Why you just don't run like a dog like when you was renting the truck so you can come from under all this
So
interest?
so what I noticed, what I noticed was every week started not to become the same because this is July. So at this point, remember everything started to snowball down. Everything started to snowball down between the race, between diesel. This when everything started to slow up. Remember, and then you put out a video uh about what is peak season is not gonna be peak season. Don't get it
Mm-hmm.
twisted.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, that's when everything started to slow down. So I was looking at things as if not just taking everything within the parcel that didn't make sense, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
was becoming a little now I'm starting to develop more of a strategy, right? For example, I'm gonna give you an example. So let's just say I ran up partials going up to Minnesota. So I dropped off in Iowa, picked up one in Minnesota. I got a nice partial coming down to go down to Arizona, right?
Hmm.
So I may have picked a couple of partials going to Arizona, but guess what? Partials coming out of Arizona is not looking the same, if that makes sense. So now I started to develop a strategy. So now I started to look at everything like, okay, well, remember this is around July, August, September. So this is when everything literally was slow motion, right? Stuff was like a hit or miss, but the weeks of hey, while I was grossing between 7 and 9, that was no more. That was no more because within the partial, right, you would say, okay, well, I got something that's probably like $1.50 a mile, right? As I go down the highway, I'm expecting to see something pop up on the load board.
Hmm.
No, it wasn't doing that. It wasn't doing that. It was literally slowing itself down. So it didn't make sense for me to go over the mountains to go to Arizona. You follow me?
Okay. 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 So let's get into that. Let me just get into that since you're kind of going into it anyway. Describe a time when you had to adapt to changes in the market and the industry trends. I had that question, and you're kind of going into it. So things start to shift. You were just getting into the space, so you really had like maybe a good month or two. You said you were grossing 7 to 9
Yeah.
a
It was
week,
like it was like 2 months, like 2 months of
and
seeing that money. So I was
excuse me,
excited.
and this is when the market was inflated. All right, you didn't know any better. You just thought that was the norm, or when you were
I
running
didn't I
and
didn't yeah, I didn't know no better. I didn't know what was
okay,
norm, what wasn't norm. All I was hearing was you talk, Kirk talk, everybody
you you
complain.
you you weren't hearing me talk. I wasn't on YouTube at that point.
Well, Kirk talk, everybody
Yeah.
else on YouTube talk, yeah. Cause you
Okay,
came
so
around what,
I came April,
July? Or
April, but I really didn't start getting into the groove until probably like August, July,
okay.
August. So so the industry started to shift. So
Yeah.
what did you do to adapt to the changes in the market? The rates started to correct themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Fuel was going up, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you were just had bought a new truck,
Mm-hmm.
right? You were still trying to feel your way through the industry and around the learning curve. So
Right.
when things started to shift from how they were when you initially came in, what did you do to adapt?
Um
Or did you adapt? Or did you adapt?
No, no, I did adapt. So what I adapted is I started looking at home, not getting it personal, but I started looking at where I can actually eliminate personal. What I mean by personal, like, okay, does it make sense to buy this or does it make sense to spend on this, right? So then, because give or take, if you're an owner operator, just being honest and realistic, if you're an owner operator, you're a one man truck,
Mhm.
your home does fall into your business somehow, some way. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care what you say. Why so serious? But I started to look at what's going on at home. How can I eliminate some bills at home to be able to offset this trucking company? Because it's still a
Mhm.
company, right? So
Mhm.
then beside that, I started to say, hey, well, does it make sense for me to go over to the desert region, right? So that's the West Coast. So I rarely did West Coast moves anyway. Meaning, Arizona. We talk about Arizona. We talk about New Mexico, Colorado. I didn't mess with because I hear excruciating stories about Colorado. But yeah, so between both of those states, I don't think I don't think I went to Nevada, but does it make sense to go to the East Coast, right? So
Mhm.
between the East Coast, so I'm looking at diesel. So what I started looking at is diesel, right? So the West Coast, they hitting people on the head for all that diesel. The East Coast, they hitting people all the way on the head, for diesel. And then I don't like the East Coast anyway because those mountains and man, it's just so tight. I'm a Southern boy. I'm from Texas. I'm from
Okay.
Texas. So basically, I started adjusting to how to manage my diesel at that point. Does that make sense? So I started looking at miles per gallon. I started looking at, okay, does it make sense because my truck is not governed? So does it make
Mhm.
sense for me to run about 70 plus miles? So I started looking at, okay, Well, put that thing on cruise control, run 67. Okay. Another overhead that I didn't tell you all was hotel. Also had hotel. I had hotel expenses. You know, I know a lot of people like, oh, well, you can sleep in the truck. You can sleep in the truck. Let me tell you something. I was in the military. I slept on concrete. I slept on cots. Trust me, if I would, I could, but I can't because with the Hino gear shift that you have is right in the center console. So if you actually see me, I'm a big guy. I'm 230, solid. We solid, baby. We solid.
You're a funny guy, man.
Hey man, look, I'm telling you, if you're not, man, you know, on the sidebar, you gotta enjoy some bit of this process because I'm not saying it's I'm in a glory mode of everything is coming in, but I'm figuring it out to be still be in this industry as we speak now, right?
Mhm.
So what I look at is what this market is telling us is you have to play survival of the fittest. You have to play survival of the fittest and you have to adapt. Going back into your original question. So I'm just sitting back, listening, being a fly on the wall, listening to a lot of guys on social media, a lot of
Mhm.
guys on just meeting at the truck stops, right? Because when you go to the truck stops, you know, they see another box truck, and you're like, hey, man, I'm moving. So I'm listening to you and I'm just like, all right, well, shoot, you know, hey, you know, all right, cool. So I'm just adapting to where the market see fits as far as, you know, the region of diesel, because diesel will let you know, hey, either you're gonna profit or either you won't. And some things didn't make sense for me. Some
So
things
you
made didn't.
so you focus your strategy based on the cost of fuel and not
Mhm.
where the money was as far as the rates for the loads.
Yep.
So
Because
what?
because
So where did you end up running? The Midwest. So you said you didn't go to the West
oh
Coast. You
yep.
didn't go to the East Coast.
Yep, Midwest. So up to Minnesota, I went to your park to Chi-Town. So I made sure that I was avoiding the hood as well. So I didn't want to stay in the hood. I made sure I did some Yelp reviews to watch your hitters out there. Um,
Oh,
you
okay.
know.
So you didn't pick up nothing in O Block then. You
No,
wasn't in
no,
O
no, no,
Block.
no, no,
Oh, okay.
no. I was making sure I avoided, man. I was making sure I
Okay.
avoided.
All right.
But yeah, so from Texas up to Minnesota, Minnesota up to Midwest, and then back to Texas. So basically a triangle. So I was
But
doing a triangle.
the gas was high up here at that time too, though.
Yeah, so what I noticed is Illinois will hit you on the head. So I try not to fuel in Illinois. So before I hit Illinois, the state, I try to make sure I fuel coming out of Wisconsin or what's that, Missouri, coming up to Illinois, depending on where I was at. So it was contingent on where I was at. So if it made sense. So I started looking at everything on how to move. And what's so ironic is when I was picking, I never forget this, when I was picking up a load in Minnesota, it was this other box truck guy. He was
Hmm.
like, "Hey man, you know about this mud flap app?" I was like,
Hmm.
"Nah, I don't know about it. All I know is RTS fuel card, right?" And he
All
was
right.
like, "Yeah, yeah, they talking about it or whatnot." So ever since then, I've been running the mud flap and RTS. So my strategy is based on diesel because what I notice is a lot of individuals or several individuals do not uh they don't they don't comprehend that diesel is a part of your profit. And what I mean by that is as you go from Texas up elevation, guess what? You eat into more fuel. I don't care if you lightweight, I don't care if you have a medium sized load, that diesel will hit you on top of the head and hit into your whatever you think you're making. Point blank serious.
Okay. So this right now we're around August, September, right? Of 2022, right? Give or take, right?
October. Yeah, October.
Okay.
So we around
So
October, about to touch peak season.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Okay.
peak season.
Okay.
So let's get into it. So we in October, going into peak season, where you thinking it was just going to be great from what you heard because you came in, you started doing your research in 2021, probably right around that peak season or maybe right before. So you probably just saw just all these great testimonials, all these YouTubers talking about how they was making gazillion dollars in 2021 peak season. So you probably was excited going into 2022, right?
I'm not gonna even lie to you, man. When I saw your video and I started like looking at everything, reading articles, freight waves, looking at everything, that's
When you
when I
saw my
started.
video, be honest, you said this dude don't know what the hell he talking about. That's
No,
cap.
so I didn't. So I'm not gonna even lie to you, Mark. I didn't have no expectations. I take
Mhm.
everybody. I take everybody word for face value at this point. I'm not gonna even lie to you
But I was the
because
only one saying it though.
you was the only one saying it. I do have to agree with you on that, but I didn't take what you said as man he bullshit because I'm
Mhm.
still new. I'm not even a year yet. I'm still
Okay.
I wasn't even a year. I was what maybe like seven, eight, four
So,
months or whatever in. So
okay.
at that point, I was looking at it like, shoot, I still got to get it no matter what because guess what? You know, as stuff start to slow down and some of the freight and partials wasn't looking like how they were somewhat paying, I said,
Hmm.
okay, well, Stu, I still got to get it. So I didn't have no expectations going into peak season. Now,
Hmm.
at that point, I started saying, okay, what's the strategy? What's the strategy going forward? Because remember, this is where adjusting to the market has to go, right?
Okay.
So as I'm going to different shippers, I have my business cards. You know,
Hmm.
I'm trying to make myself known. I'm like, hey, well, I'm XYZ, you know, veteran owned. I thought veteran owned was gonna get me somewhere. Little did I know,
Hmm.
right? Reality check. They don't, business is business, right? At the end of
Yeah,
the day,
you think you going to a breakfast Denny's or something? I'm a veteran.
man,
I'm trying to get
I
a
need that discount,
5%
sir.
discount.
I need that discount, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Why so serious?
All right.
But
All right.
I didn't have no expectations, but I can say what peak season did show was that it was showing the race was showing around the time that I got in. So it wasn't egregious around that 2021 that people were talking about or
Hmm.
whatnot. So I was
Hmm.
seeing what I saw when I first got in, if that makes sense. And that was like a month and a half run. That wasn't even a long run. That wasn't even a long run.
Mm.
Yeah.
So peak season for you was just okay? Was it bad? Was it like how was it?
No, it was good. It was good. It was good because again, I wasn't spoiled like everybody that was hitting it on 2021. So you got to think
Okay.
about it. Even to this day now, I'm not spoiled on what people are talking about. This $3, $2. I'm not spoiled on that. You get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
never seen that consistency that people saw in 2021. So that's what makes my situation different.
Okay.
Very much different. I didn't come into that.
All right. So now 2022 is over. How did you fare out your first year, your first full year? Because you started in
Oh
February.
man, I was
That's
in the
so you
red,
had
big
a good
dog.
11 months. So you was in the red. Let's talk about
I
it.
was in man. What you want to talk about, man? I spent over $17,000 in hotels, man. $17,000. When my wife went over all of our numbers and everything, and I looked at the expense of hotels, man, I was.
Let's
It
let's
made
let, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish your thought.
no. It just made me realize that dang, I spent $17,000 in hotels.
Let's look at overall numbers. So you were in the red. You operated at a loss.
Yeah.
What did the company bring in?
It brought in around. I think we were at 150. I think we were at 150 between because you remember I started around April. Yeah, April. Yeah, January, February, March. Yeah,
February.
towards the middle. No. So February is when we went to LLC and you apply for your authority. You have to wait
Okay.
that quote unquote that pending period, right? So I didn't
Okay.
I didn't get out the gate January, February, March was like towards the end. I think March, April, or something like that. Towards the end.
Okay. So you brought in 150, and how much did you spend?
Oh shit, man! It was about I would say about 100. I would say about 100.
But you said you operated at a loss. So if you brought
Yeah,
in 150, you had to spend more than 150.
yeah.
So if you brought what I'm saying, you said you operated at a loss. So if you brought in 150, then the number you spent should be more than 150 if you operated at a loss.
Well, so what I'm looking at is 150. Well, so okay, so if you take it like that, then yeah. So we brought, man. It didn't seem like that, man. I look at it as still being at a true loss. It
That's
was
what I'm.
because if you think about the amount made, and you think about everything that you put in going into it, because that's not including that 20,000 as well. That's not, and then if you want to talk about that, that's going into that lending process until now. You don't know what you signed up for, and that's why I say it was a loss. Because what is the name of that lending, man? You're gonna have me think about this lending. So long story short, the lending the lending part. So how these lending companies for commercial make money, right? You put in the down payment, right?
Mhm.
And what they use that down payment is, they use that down payment for what's the word? They use the down payment for, they hold on to it for example, three years, right? So I have this box truck for 3 years. So if I tried to trade the truck in or whatnot, they
Mhm.
basically hold on to that 20,000. Does that make sense?
You talking about as far as the title
Lending
loan
company.
or
No, the lending
the
company. The lending
the
company. Because you
the
got you
lender?
got to think about it. I gave the lending
Well,
company.
the lending company not gonna give you the title until you pay the truck off.
No, 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 no. Listen to what I just said. I said if I decide to trade it in before those 3 years, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm in an actual agreement with them for 3 years. Remember, I paid 20,000 now. So
Mm-hmm.
by the point of 3 years, what they give you the option to do is either you can turn the truck in, or
Mm-hmm.
they'll give you. So it's basically like a lease. Long story short, it's like a lease.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is, if you go through the 3 years, then they'll give you the difference of your money back, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not gonna give you the full 20. They're gonna give you the difference between wear and tear. Or you can decide to just say, hey, well, give me the title. Give me the title based on what I already gave you, and they'll give you the title. So I forgot the name of the lending type. I'm gonna have to come back and talk about that on my channel. But um, if anything, that's painful right there. And the reason I found out is because I wanted to trade in that box truck. I wanted to trade in that box truck to get another commercial vehicle, and I was trying to figure out the payoff amount. And they sent me
Mm-hmm.
something back saying, "Hey, look, well, your payoff amount is 34,000." I'm like, "Okay, 34,000." This is around the time now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 34,000 now, and I'm like, "Okay, so why don't my payoff include how much I'm gonna receive back?"
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Well, it don't work like that. Based on the contract that you signed, if you break this contract not hitting your 3 years, then we have the right to hold that money. We have the right to keep that money."
Okay. So, but I want to get back to the
Yeah, subprime.
your
There you go,
your
Grace. Yep,
yeah, yeah.
subprime.
I
Yeah,
knew it was a subprime when you
yeah,
first
yeah.
said it. You know what I'm saying? But I want to get back to the first year because, like I said, testimonials. The reason I created this show is because everybody got a story, and I think everybody can take bits and pieces from everybody's
Oh
story,
yeah,
whether
mine
it's
is unique.
good
Yeah.
or it's bad. Your story is a little bit unique, but
Oh yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
first year is very important. Now, you said you operated at a loss, so I'm just trying to get down to like what were you in the negative? You know, so you gross profit versus your net. Now, if you operated at a loss, that means you spent more money than you made.
Yeah.
All right. Because even if
Mhm.
you made $1, you
Mhm.
profited $1. So if you're operating at a loss, that means you spent more money. You could
Right.
either make money, lose money, or break even.
Mhm.
So you said you operated at a loss. So I'm trying to figure out what were you what did you spend?
So the spending was pretty much to get into business.
No, no,
So
no, no,
now,
no. You said you made 150, right?
right.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe I'm confusing you. So let me break it down. You say you made 150, right?
Okay.
So you didn't net anything because you said you took a loss, right? So if you
Right.
took a loss, that means you spent more than 150.
Right.
So how much more than 150 did you spend? That's what
Man,
we. Hmm?
you want me to pull out the whole blue book? Let me go ahead and
Oh,
pull out the whole
I thought you knew this. I could tell you what I made my first year, and that was years ago.
Man,
That's
so
your golden year.
I know how much I grossed. I know how much the company grossed. So the company grossed 150. So
Okay.
150. But if you
Okay.
saying how much did I net, it don't feel like I netted
No,
the
you didn't net anything if you operated
no,
a loss,
no,
right?
no.
So I'm saying, where'd you spend?
What did I spend as far as like outside the
So it's like,
business?
so it's like this. You pulled in 150, but we spent 175. So you was negative 25,000.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You spent
Yeah,
$25,000 more than what you actually brought in. So you operated at a loss.
right.
You negative 25. You 25,000 in the red.
Man, well, yeah, don't tell my business, man. Don't tell how I'm
I was
hey,
asking you.
hey, look,
But,
look, y'all look. Don't tell my business, man. Don't put my why so serious.
okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's
Look,
move on.
look, Mark, hey, do the gunshot.
Let's move. Let's get to the next question. All right. So boom, your first year, 2022 is over with. Now we in January,
That
February
painful
20,
year.
2021. January and
Mm-hmm.
February 2021, it really slowed down. It was slower than peak season for a lot of people that ran that middle mile. So how did you fare out? Let's say first quarter of this year, how did you fare out?
Um, man, it was a struggle. I mean, it was a struggle, literally. So after seeing that $17,000 hotel expense, I started to slow down. So I started looking at running in just the region of the South. So I started looking for not going over 700 miles. So keeping it basically trying to make right, trying to make 1,000 a day.
Mm-hmm.
So by not running the truck egregious to where I put in the wear and tear because the rates running that middle mile, they was you weren't gonna make enough on that by any means to
Mm-hmm.
cover the wear and tear of maintenance. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you talk about maintenance as well, I started adapting again to do my own maintenance as well. So I'll start adapting, doing the oil changes. If certain things come up or whatnot, I would start doing some research and different things like that. Contingent on if I can actually change it. Start talking to people, going on forums. Just doing my own research.
Mm-hmm.
So coming into January, it was just rough because again, January was my first January coming after peak season. So
Right.
again, I'm listening to everybody and they big, oh well, starting of the year is always rough, it's always rough. So I'm just listening. So again, I come at it again with a why so serious take on it because I it's a lot of things that everybody talk about that I haven't seen until I actually go through the trial right then and there. So
Right.
again, that goes with the adapting and doing some of the South region. So Texas to Oklahoma, Missouri, St. Louis, not even touching Iowa. So I avoided going up north if anything.
Why?
Um
The rates
the
are better up here.
Yeah, they better, but at the same time I started looking and analyzing like what am I doing? Because
What do
again,
you
I
mean?
didn't
What do you
I didn't
mean?
come
What are you
in
doing?
I didn't come in with a true strategy. Remember, my strategy of coming in was based on me and my wife talking and said, "Hey, who's gonna drive?" And then we got in, hit up Kirk, partials, whoop de woo,
Mm-hmm.
and then start running from that point on.
Mm-hmm. So,
So
but so you came in, but Kirk was. I thought you were part of Kirk's mentorship.
mhm.
So
no, no, I'm not saying that I didn't make well, but what I'm saying is the market just adjusted again to where I came in around the time where things were decent in my eyes, and then it went down towards
Mm-hmm.
summer because people were
Mm-hmm.
complaining about summer. They like, man, this summer ain't never been like this. And then it came into what was supposed to be the most peak season or whatnot, and that didn't pan out. And then
Mm-hmm.
it just dropped again after December. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
basically, I'm going on a roller coaster. January wasn't even my full year. That was what 11th going to the 11th, if at that, because we started LLC. So and then, if you want to be honest with you, that year wasn't even a true year because our authority came active in January, March, the end of
Mm-hmm.
middle end of March. So wasn't literally a full year running. So I'm still trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we in 2022 Q1. You said you didn't do so well. Q2, because Q2 is when you started back creating content. Or was that's Q? Yeah, Q2 is
No,
when you
no,
slowly.
you're
Go ahead.
right. So I slowly started creating content to dig down even more into to grinding. So now I get back into grind mode. So
And what
that's when
month
I
was
get it.
this? And what month was this?
This is January. This is January. So this is
Okay.
January. I don't think I did any videos in December as well. So I started getting into grind mode around I think it was towards the end. I think it was towards the end of November, so that peak season. So I started just focusing. So I was recording. So I do have a lot of videos, but I just didn't push out no videos. So I just didn't push
Okay.
out no videos because I wanted to focus on the transportation company. Because being a content creator, it takes so much out of you. It takes so much
Mm-hmm.
out of you because you got the camera, you talking, you're trying to move, you're trying to go down the road, you're trying to do all this stuff, and it just takes so much out of you. So I started saying, okay, I'm gonna have to decide whether to consistently push out content or navigate to survive. Because anybody that's in this live and you have an actual truck right now, you're surviving. You're surviving. You're surviving unless you adjust it. Just like you said, unless you adjust it and you got out of middle mile and you're doing other things or whatnot, like moving.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we in, let's say Q2 of this year. Q2 of this year, I saw you start back posting stuff. It looked like you transitioned. It looked like you don't really go over the road like that no more.
No,
For me
I don't.
watching
I
your
don't.
content, it looked like you've
Nope.
been doing a lot of local, close to home stuff. So let me ask
Mm-hmm.
you this: why did you come off the road?
Family. I mean, at the end of the day, family, and you know, I took a break from going over the road to adjust for myself and family because it was taking me out of being father, being husband. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest and transparent, I had to decide, okay, of course we have this business that we heavily invested in, but can I make do with my work ethic to adjust between not going from time to time I do go over the road, but it's nothing outside that radius, like I explained, right? So I might stay in Kansas City, but again, I'm not hitting a hotel like that. I'm not hitting a hotel like that. My whole objective is not to hit a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
My whole objective is not to be a diamond member for Hilton Honors.
Mm-hmm. So your decision was to come off the road to be closer to your family, and you didn't want to spend a lot of money on hotels, right?
Yeah,
So you're just picking lows close to home,
yeah. So
off the board though, right?
so at this point, I was also getting phone calls from brokers as well. I end up, matter of fact, I have two brokers that call me for freight before they post a load on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because they see my work ethic. And what I mean by that is because I asked them, I said, so why do y'all say y'all trust me? They were they said, well, we trust you because we know we can rely on you. If you tell us that you can do something, you do it. It ain't like, somebody saying, hey, well, I'm 200 miles down the road, or better, even better, I'm 20 minutes down the road, but you 200 miles away. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they look at that. These brokers look at that as like you being rude, you lying, you're disrespectful, and I know it's a give and take, but
Mm-hmm.
I was able to actually build relationships between some of these brokers that call me out the blue, even when I'm not around, and they try to offer me loads going to like Oklahoma, Kansas City again, because that's where I run. I run up and down just like that.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
you you haven't looked into a dedicated final mile contract?
I have, and I tried, and I have not succeeded in getting callbacks. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did contact American Expediting. So American Expediting, I think you mentioned that in one of your videos, and some other guy mentioned it as well. So I got in American Expediting and noticed that the market between the Midwest and Texas is not the same. It's not the same. Not for box trucks. Not for
Okay.
box trucks. Not for the
All right.
region that we in right now. And the reason why I say that is because when I get email alerts, what they say is, "Hey, we looking for a car. Hey, we're looking for a truck." And what I mean by truck, literally a regular pickup truck. They're not
Yeah,
looking.
American expediting is probably not something you would be interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
not really for trucks your size.
yeah. So occasionally they hit me up, and every time they hit me up, they want quotes, and then when I give them a quote, I get no call back. So they
Yeah, you
call me
gonna
for a quote. Yeah.
yeah you're gonna be too high. I wouldn't. Yeah, you no no
Yeah. Yeah.
no.
No, I am too high.
So let's talk about current. So how are you doing current? Are you we're in August, about to hit September, so we about to hit Q3. Are you
hmm
in the green so far this year? Are you in the red? Like, how are you doing this year?
To be honest with you, I'm surviving. I'm surviving. I wouldn't say I'm in the green. I wouldn't say I'm in the black or I'm in the red. I'm in between right now. So I haven't looked at the numbers other to know that I'm not running like I was doing last year. Does that make sense? So I'm not, just like you said, you seen that I'm not over the road like that. So I'm not pulling in those numbers like that. But at the same time, I'm not spending a lot of diesel as well. So it's like a give or take. So
So,
um
for example, what are you grossing around these days a
uh
week? What are you pulling in gross? You don't have to talk about net, just gross, so
n-
we can have an
no, no.
idea of the
So
difference of
so
this year and last year.
oh man, big difference. So growth, between two, 2 to 3,000, 2 to 3,000 a week.
And how many
Two to
days
three
a week
thousand.
you running?
5 days, 5 days, Monday through Friday. So I do Monday through Friday. Occasionally I might get a weekend run, but it has to make sense for me. That means that I would hold on to the load that Saturday and drive out that Sunday. No, that Monday morning. So that Monday morning,
Mm-hmm.
because remember I'm not running that 700 miles. I'm running less than 250, 300 if at that. So that's like 4 or 6 hours or something like that. So get
Mm-hmm.
up at Monday at 2 or 3 a.m. to make that drop, and
Mm-hmm.
then end up picking up a load that Monday morning because by the time I drop off that load, it's 8:30 a.m., 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to make sense for me.
Okay. So I see, current, you pushing out a lot of content, a lot of
hmm
content.
hmm
You're showing your journey. Now, the question I was going to ask you earlier, I said I asked you offline. I
No,
forgot
come on,
you're a content creator, so it's
come
out there
on.
anyway.
I love
So
it. I
so
love
so
it.
so
I
getting back,
love it.
I want to get back to this story because it is
No, it's a
unique.
lot. It's a
You
lot. It's some of the stuff I left
so
off. Some of the
so
stuff
so
I left
so
off.
so 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 here's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
When I go to your channel,
Mm-hmm.
you got this nice Hellcat. And
Oh
you
no, it's not,
hold on,
no, no,
hold
no,
on.
no, no, no,
No,
no,
wait,
no.
hold on, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me
Scat Pack.
finish. No, hold on. Scat Pack, Hellcat. I don't have one, so I don't know. That's for the young boys. We my
Oh my
generation, we
god,
like big old sedans. We like
man,
big
that's a
old
lie.
sedans and big old SUVs. Nah, that that
Nah,
that
that's cap.
Hellcat, that
That's cap.
Hellcat, and all that stuff, that's not for me. But here's the thing. Your mentor, Kurt, he talk about people like you all the time with the Hellcats. So
Mm-hmm.
when I go to your page and I see the Hellcat and I'm listening to your story, and I didn't know you had a Ram, but I see the
Mm-hmm.
Hellcat and I know cars. I can see you
Right.
put airbag. You done put some airbags in the car. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You
When
done,
I was
you
doing
know
my
you
car content. Yep.
you
Before
spent
this was
some.
before trucking. This was before trucking. So mind
Okay,
you, I just want to make that known.
okay. So here's my question:
Okay, come on.
Why you didn't sell the Hellcat?
Who said I
Because
got
at
it?
that,
Who said I got it?
No, I'm saying, did you still have it when you bought the truck? Or was it gone
Yes,
already?
I did. I was gone, so it collected dust. But here's the thing. So now that you want to get into those details, so I still had that Scat Pack in the garage for over a year, collecting dust. Now, mind you, I did all these modifications, Mark. I did airbags. That thing is not. It wasn't stock.
Mm-hmm.
Airbag, spoiler, all this crazy stuff because I was doing car shows.
Mm-hmm.
So what I knew was, again, what did I tell you? I said I had to adjust to see what's at home. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
look at my bills to say, hey, all right, well, it's time to eliminate some stuff. So guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what got out the door? That Scat Pack gone. It's
I,
gone.
right, but what my
I
question
didn't
is,
put that out on the internet. I didn't put that out on the internet because I was gonna go into that story on my
no,
channel.
no, no, no. I'm not talking about when you sold it. I'm talking about during the pandemic when you were saying you did these two loans. At
Yeah,
that time, that would have been the best time to sell that depreciating asset because it wasn't none. You could have everybody had money then. So I'm saying, I'm just asking you. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah.
just asking you. You obviously
Hmm.
sold it later on in the story when you said you had to look back at home when
Yeah,
I guess the business bills were probably giving you a hard time. But I'm
right.
saying initially when you needed to source the funds to start your business,
Hmm.
you why didn't you look at that Hellcat?
Um,
Instead of the Ram, why you
that's
just didn't sell the
no, no, no.
Hellcat?
That was a good question. So I was looking at it as a content creator. Like I can still do car content. So I was looking at that as an actual asset that I can come back to and post videos about or do mods to it. And lo and behold, I was I was over the road. It wasn't no way possible I can do car content while I'm on the road grinding. It was no way possible. So it was many times that when I came home, I actually looked at it and said, man, this thing gotta go. I was telling Kirk that all the time. I said, man, this thing gotta go. It gotta go. It got to go. And I have no relevant reason for even holding on to that car other than realizing that it was taken away. It was taken away from the business because guess what? You would have to pull from the business to actually even pay that note, right? So insurance already took off of it. So I didn't have no relevant point to keep the insurance on it. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about the Hellcat? I
Yeah,
mean,
Scat Pack,
you said the
Scat Pack,
Scat.
Scat Pack,
I
Scat Pack,
man,
Scat
they
Pack,
are the
man,
same. Do
Scat
do it
Pack,
make a
man.
do it make a lot of noise?
I make a lot of
All
noise.
right, it's the same thing to me. I so okay.
But it's not as fast. But it's not as fast.
So basically, what you saying? You just didn't want to let it go.
No, I knew it had to go. But it
So
was just when
if you
I
had
got
to,
to that point. Huh?
if you could do it all over again, looking back now, if you could do it all over again, would have got rid of the Scat Pack in order to start your business?
Um,
Because you could have made what I'm saying. Here's what I'm trying to say.
no, 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 no.
Because
I want to answer your question. I want to think
be,
about it and answer your question. Like, would I have changed? And I don't think I would because it got me to this point now to where I still, when I sold it, I still made money off of it. If that makes sense. So because at that point, you got to realize what happened in the market between. Again, you don't follow cars, but at this
no,
point, Dodge was.
I follow cars. I'm not into
Yeah, I know
Hellcats.
CJ on 32s. No, I know live out there.
I like, yeah, I know CJ. Yeah.
So it got to that point to where Dodge was saying they're not making no more Challengers, no more gas Challengers. No, you
Mm-hmm.
know everything was gonna be electric.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I'm looking at everything, even though I held on to it before even getting our own box truck. I was looking at it like, shoot, should I hold on to this thing? But
Mm.
I'm like, man, it's not bringing me no value. It's not bringing me no value on YouTube. YouTube actually, you know what got me value? Value came between when I was making box truck content. That's when I got my first ever paycheck out of 10 years of doing YouTube.
Mm.
Was doing box truck content. Was
Damn.
literally, yeah, yeah. So YouTube actually was paying me. Now, mind you, they still get views. Those car views still get views, but it's not watch consistency. It's not watch over long duration as box truck content.
You have more competition. Uh, if you look at the scope of content creation, I've learned a lot. In this past year, I study it obviously because I do it. With that car content, you have a lot more competition in
Hmm.
that lane than you do over here with the box trucks. You have
That is right.
there's competition in the
Hmm.
box truck, but it's not as much as in the car space, right?
Right,
And if you
right,
come to a smaller niche and you can bring some type of quality to the niche, you'll stand out a lot quicker here than you
right.
would over there because you're up against people who have already been in the space for a while. They're already millionaires, your CJ on 32s and all those guys that are
Hmm.
buying cars every other week. And you just gonna and then all the scammers and and if you a military guy, so you on a straight and narrow, so you can't go on the dark web and get some numbers and go crack a few cars and go ahead and do what you got to do or get a CPN and go get a new car every week. You ain't gonna do that. So that's your
Yeah.
competition over there. So yeah, I can understand that niche is a little difficult if you ain't if
Um,
you ain't you ain't playing with a bag to keep because you
feeding
got
the
to
beast, and that's what happened. That's what happened to me when I got the Challenger. So when I came back from overseas and I got that Challenger when I was stationed in Washington, I put a lot of money in that Challenger, and even when I sold it, I still didn't get the return of investment
hmm
that I put in it. And the goal was to make money off of that car content by putting money in that car.
hmm
So when it came to the point of even looking at it to sell it, even operating this transportation business,
hmm
I was still looking at it like, man, I don't want to give up on it because I know I can end up doing something. And it
hmm
it didn't do that. It didn't do that.
right.
So I still end up making value out of selling it even to this day, right? A year later, yeah, a year later, because I sold it about I think about 2-3 months ago, 2-3 months ago. Yeah,
Oh, you just sold it.
I just sold it, man. I
Oh
just
wow.
sold it, man. So
Okay.
when you talk about me being dead as far as creating content, right? I took a break because I wanted again what I admire about this
hmm
transportation industry, because I say transportation, I don't say box trucking,
hmm
is that everybody thinks they have a way until they get slapped. What Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face, right?
hmm
So the problem is I didn't have a plan. So the minute I started to create a plan, that's when I noticed, hey, you got
every time you say that, it just I don't know because you came up under Kirk.
no, 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 no. So I want you to think about it like this, right? It's nothing to say that coming under Kirk that you're going to be successful or not, right? And I know y'all can vouch for this because it was another guy that y'all was talking about or whatnot that didn't follow suit on what y'all were telling them, and he failed. So I
hmm
still I still operate like Kirk, right? But I don't push the narrative like I did when I first started that whole year. Does that make sense? So I'm not going full throttle like that. So I'm slowing it down. I'm adjusting. I'm looking at other markets. And with
hmm
that being said, when I took that break, I said,
hmm
okay, how can I diversify myself? Just like you said, what makes you stand out more than the other quote unquote box truck transportation company? I look the same. And you know how I know I look the same? Is because
hmm
when I go on that load board and I see a hazmat load, right? And it's 26 foot, less than the 26,000 weight limit or whatnot, right? I
hmm
can't move that. You know why I can't move that? Because I don't have a CDL.
hmm
Now warrant is contingent on how what's the weight and all that other stuff. That's warrant. But we're just talking about in general when those dime and dozens come for the actual box truck. So I started looking and adjusting as far as looking at everything to say how can I improve myself, right? Because it's just a one man crew right now.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. So when I took that break, I said, okay. Well, let me go ahead and get my CDL. Let me go ahead and get my CDL. So what's so ironic about that story is 5, 6 years ago, before I joined the military, I tried to get my CDL. I couldn't bag up a truck to save my life, man. I didn't want to do it. I never
Mhm.
wanted to be a trucker. Never wanted to be a trucker. It's crazy how the tides turn.
So you got your
And
CDL now, right?
I did get my CDL. I got it 3 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
3 weeks ago. So I didn't put
Congratulations.
that out. I didn't put that out other than your channel. So I didn't even put that out on my channel yet. I didn't put that out on my channel yet. So
Yeah, Kirk
um
told me a few weeks ago that
yeah,
you
so
had
I
got it.
actually got it. Yeah, so I got it 3 weeks ago. I think it's about 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, one of those. So I'm not even a full complete month of owning my CDL, of having my CDL. So to this day now of adjusting, again, I don't have no true blueprint to tell anybody as far as watching this live or watching this video, other than looking at what works for you. Again, I move in different ways, like talking about how I operate with diesel.
Mhm.
So I look at all those different things, but now I'm saying, okay, let me navigate with something that's gonna make more money and it's gonna give more opportunity. So that's why I'm not pushing myself as far as trying to say, hey, well, let me go get these customers with this one box, right?
Mhm.
So just trying to diversify everything.
Okay. Let me ask you. I got a couple more questions, and then one more question. Then I want to talk about your future now that you got your CDL, and then we'll do a quick little Q&A if anybody got any questions for you, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of
So
questions.
yeah, I've been peeking at the chat, so a lot of
Yeah, I've been saying why so serious.
yeah. So when this question and answer, as long as you up for it,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Come on.
you hold on, you watch my channel, right?
Yeah, I don't shy.
So
I don't
so
shy from
so so
controversy. I
so
love it.
so so my subscribers, right? My subscribers is probably the toughest box truck
Nah,
subscribers. Nah, my subscribers is rough. They
nah,
rough. They rough. Name me somebody that's a channel that got rougher,
man. I
because
can't
I
even
ain't
think
seen it.
about it. I
But
can't even think about it.
let's get it. Let's get into these questions. Let's get into these questions.
What you got?
Give me a proud moment. Give me a proud moment.
Oh, oh boy, you coming with these fire. Um.
A
Okay, so
proud
this is
moment.
a.
A proud moment with your box truck. Your
Oh, okay.
transportation career.
I wouldn't even say I'm just gonna be honest and transparent. I'm not. I don't even have a proud moment other than saying that I still have a transportation company, and that's
So
legit.
just so just being
I
still in business.
being still in business. I know people talking about, oh, he don't know financial literacy and all this. Let me tell you something. No, everything is not sold to be told on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my prime moment is still being in this industry, even though I'm seeing a lot of people complain. I'm seeing a lot of people sell their truck. I'm seeing a lot of people, just give up. Needless to say, so my prime moment is still being in this industry now, even though I'm not running crazy through the wazoo. I'm not. I'm not running crazy through the wazoo. I'm not.
Let,
I'm
let,
not.
let me ask you this then, because you
What?
mentioned that a couple of times about everything that's happened in the space um, since the correction of rates has started, and just uh, how everything kind of corrected itself after the pandemic. You mentioned a few times people getting out and things like that. What do you think separates you and your company apart from, let's say, all the people that came into the space around the same time that you did, uh, that you're still here and that other people uh, perish? Because you came in similar to a lot of people. You were renting a truck, you were paying an egregious amount for mileage, paying a lot of money on insurance.
A
You know
lot
what I
of money.
mean?
A lot of money.
And I'm just recapping. You took out two loans to get your truck, a
Yep.
title loan, which
Yep.
me and Kurt, we covered. Yeah, you took out a title loan, and then you took
Yep.
out a subprime loan.
Subprime lender. Oh my
So
God.
so
Oh
so so like, and I'm not because this is educational. You
no,
know,
it is. It
with
is.
the way you went about it, a lot of people would have failed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Oh yeah,
people would
without
have
a doubt.
failed.
Without a
You know
doubt.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So for you to still be here, just recapping everything that you said, you know what I'm saying? What sets you apart and your company apart from a lot of other people?
Because when it's time for me to switch to go on to get that money, I'm gonna go get it. But I don't have to go over the road to get it. What I do is, again, I don't know what other people do. All I can say is when I get up, I'm up. So that
Mm-hmm.
means that I'm up at 4 a.m. I'm on that load board at 4 a.m. People might say, ain't no loads on the board. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. They always say early bird get the worm. Um, I I I have this whole strategy where I look at something and I can say, no, you're not gonna make no money. You're not gonna make a net on that actual load because what here's a secret for you all that's trying to figure it out, like how this guy's still in, right? If I can get a load in Dallas to Fort Worth for $200-300, I drop that off same day. I don't have to wait at the freaking shipper. I go back on the load board, find another load for the same amount. I'm not even running that much diesel. If I do another one like that, that's $600. Let's just say I drop that off again because again I'm not sitting at the terminal like these 18 wheelers. So then I do it again. It's $900. I just did 3 loads in a day. I didn't have to go and fill up my truck. I don't even have to run that much because guess what? I'm in a high moving environment, being that I'm in Dallas, Texas. So other regions, I don't know what other regions do. And when I
Mm-hmm.
start sitting back looking at everything, because again, you got people, you got individuals that think just because they get a load that's going to XYZ and they're getting $2 a mile, they think they making money, but I'm not saying you're not. I don't know your cost. I don't know your cost to run, all that other stuff. But what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is if you eat into diesel, then diesel takes away from profit. It takes away from profit. So if I'm running 3 loads that can get me close to my $1,000 a day, which 3 loads, three loads, give or take, is 900, and I didn't get
Mm-hmm.
into diesel, then guess what? While everybody flipping their wheel trying to go over the road, I don't have to do that. And guess what? I'm building relationships between the brokers that consistently post the same loads or similar loads within the same region. Because what I notice is when I was over the road, it was certain brokers that when I talked to them, they gave me this whole narrative. Hey, when are you going to be in Minnesota again? Like
Mm-hmm.
they had Minnesota on lock. It's brokers in Texas and Dallas that have loads on lock. And
Mm-hmm.
I get calls saying, "Hey, are you available to run this load up here? Are you available to run this load here?" And it's less than 2 hours, if at that.
Mm-hmm. You keep mentioning diesel. You keep mentioning diesel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of all the fixed and variable
Mm-hmm.
expenses you have, you keep harping on the on the
Mm-hmm.
diesel. Is that
Mm-hmm.
the cause is
Mm-hmm.
that the only thing? What
Nah, that
the
so
only,
that's
so
my
you
no no no.
you
You
you ain't you
good.
ain't you ain't
Look,
mentioned
why
your
so serious?
truck notes. You said
Nope.
diesel.
Nope.
Diesel
So
is
look,
this.
let me give you this narrative. You know what I noticed? You know what I noticed because I don't worry about it because I know how to move my truck. So if let's just say that I'm able to get $900 for just like and you speak about it. You speak about moving, right? You speak about those movers if they able to get $500 a day, right? $500 a day, or they can make egregious amount of money even more in the moving, right? So let's just say 500 a day at five. That's 2,500. 2,500. That's times four. So where are you at? You had 10,000 right there. I look. I didn't have to spend on no hotel because I'm back at home. I barely had to dig in my pocket between diesel because I'm running local as well. Does that make sense?
No, but what I'm saying is I get it. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying you keep mentioning diesel. I'm saying
No, that's just me. That's why I'm
it's
so
it's
serious.
it's other costs. Your truck no 1,800. You know, you
Right.
got insurance. You know, and there's other variable
I
expenses. But I just say
I'm
you keep saying, man, that
unorthodox.
it's like that diesel. I don't know. Did the
Hey,
diesel do something
hey,
to you out on the
hey,
road
what?
or
Hey,
something?
hey, what you?
'Cause
Hey, what you hear truckers crying about? What you hear truckers crying about? You don't hear them crying about that payment like that.
I
You
hear
hear them
truckers
crying about diesel
crying.
going up.
I hear 'em- honestly, the only thing I hear middle mile truckers crying about is the rates. I don't hear nobody crying about they costs.
Hey,
I just hear them crying about the rates.
what?
You
Do
know,
you hear me
so
crying about rates?
no, you. I just hear you keep talking about that diesel, man.
That diesel,
Every
man.
time you say it, it's like, man, what did the diesel do to you, man? That
Hey,
diesel.
hey, I've been. You know what? The fun fact is, I
You
came in
must have
when
been at the.
diesel was outrageous. I came
You
in when
must,
diesel was outrageous.
you must have been at the pump one day and your car or something. You got stranded or something because you keep saying
No, you
diesel.
know what? I'm not gonna even lie to you. I'm not gonna even lie to you, Mark. What I look at is I look at RTS and how much they making money off that fuel card, man. Remember when I was over the road last year, I was spending a egregious amount on diesel, man, and it diesel
But
and hotel. So diesel and hotel, right? I
so
know,
this is this is
Mark.
this is what I'm
I
saying.
know how you go.
That's a
You go.
part of the business. You
I
need
know.
gas.
I
So
know this, but what I'm saying is I don't have to reach far into paying for the bill. That's what I'm saying.
okay. I'm trying to piece it together, man. So
That's what I look at. That's my
diesel,
strategy. That's my
diesel,
strategy, right?
diesel made you shift from OTR to local. Diesel.
No. I told you what made me shift is for one my family and also to
Okay.
look at adjusting and see how I'm running because when I go over the road, I'm paying for a hotel. I'm paying for a hotel and I'm spending more than being in the South. The South has cheaper diesel than anywhere else. That's
Okay.
proven. That's proven.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's talk about the future, man. You got your CDL now. Congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um,
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
so we see, you got your CDL a few weeks ago, but you're still in the box truck. Obviously, we see that because you're making content. So, what does the future hold for Serious Lanes?
So the content that I'm putting out now is old content.
Mm,
Just like a story. I documented the whole my entire journey. It's videos. I haven't even put out videos when I purchased the Hino. So I still have videos that I'm going back and I'm throwing out there. So what I'm doing is I'm still documenting the process now, but what it's literally like a season. So it's basically like a season. So what's next for me is literally uh figuring out figuring out how I want to navigate between being a CDLA driver, right?
mm-hmm.
I did jumble between hiring a driver, which is not what I want to do because again, you can't pay nobody what they feel like they worked anyway. The rates are not going to warrant putting somebody on payroll. It's not going to warrant that. Warrant given the fact that again I don't have a contract, and I was willing to also go work for a company as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I was willing to be an employee, Mark. I was mind you, I'm an employee of my own company, but I was willing to be an employee for somebody else's company, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
So what I'm saying? So what's the plans now? You gonna stay in the box truck? You gonna go be an employee with a company driving a rig? You gonna go buy your own rig? What's
So so
your plan?
so as of right now, I am going to stay in the box truck and I am going to save. I'm going to save to make that jump. I don't know if I'm gonna get into driving. I don't know if I'm gonna get into dump truck. I'm still trying to figure out the cost to get into those different markets, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sitting back doing a lot of market research, if that makes sense.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So no plans in the near future. You're just taking your time. You're just gonna continue to run in the box truck and just pay attention to everything that's going on.
Yeah, so yeah, we just document the process. So I'm just gonna document the process. I don't have a concrete plan now because as you see, everything changes. Everything changes within the blink of an eye, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes,
All right,
sir.
let's open up. Let's open up the floor. Anybody
What
got any
y'all
questions for
got?
Series Lanes? Now is the time. I saw a bunch of stuff
They want to know
early.
money. They want to know money. How much money you don't know your cost to operate, man?
So, what is the name of his channel? I guess I can show that in the meantime while they getting the questions together. Let me show his channel. Series Lanes. Oops. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see something. Let me see how much.
They don't. They don't know I'm hit up with that. Why so serious too? Come on.
Oh man. All right. You know what? Did I build it into the damn? Hold on. I don't think I built it in here. Hold on. Hold on. I know what to do. Hold on. I can show it. Let me switch this up. Shit. You know what? I didn't build it into this scene on my stream deck, so I
You
ain't
would
gonna be able
hold
to
a
show it.
knowledge, of
I ain't will
course.
hold it. It's titled Series Lanes. It's in the description. Nah, I didn't build it.
So,
I usually
so,
build it into the production. I didn't build the into the production, so it's not letting me share. Hold on, let me
so,
see something.
Josh Smith. So, what you want to know, man? So, Josh Smith said, "Bro, you making jokes, but we all here because we want knowledge. You on here and you withholding knowledge. Of course, we on your heels. You on my heels? Like, what do you want to know, Ja?
I think what he was asking earlier. Okay, so basically, when we was talking about the gross and
Mm-hmm.
the net,
Right. That's the biggest thing that I noticed
a
when we
lot
talk
of
about.
people was so I mean everybody who had
Other,
questions then you welcome to answer them again. I mean I would
yeah.
have to scroll way
So, what do y'all want to
back.
know about my numbers? Because my numbers gonna be different than yours, Ja. My
I think they
numbers,
just
my
want
cost.
I think they just want to know.
If you want to know, I made 1 million.
No, I think they want hard numbers, uh gross and net. So you said you operated at a loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when
Mm-hmm.
I asked you, because I got a little confused too, and I said, well, what did you gross? You told me 150. I said, well, what did you lose? Or you said something like 100. I can't remember. But when you
Now I said
lose,
100. I said 100.
you said 100 what?
I said 100. You said what did I lose? How much did I spend?
No, right. You said you grossed 150, right?
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So how much did you spend? And you said 100, right?
In 100.
But you had to spend more than 100 if you took a loss. That's what I was trying to explain to you. And I think that's when everyone kind of erupted with the questions. So,
Right.
because if you took a loss, you spent more money than you made. You see what
Right.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, um, let me see. Was that you in the truck with Kirky last week?
Nah, I wasn't. I wasn't in trouble with Kurt.
Interstate Screw says, why not get a final mile contract to stay consistent and local?
Um, to be honest with you, um, I tried it with American Expediting, thinking that American Expediting was gonna be that final mile type deal. I tried to get into T Force. T Force for whatever reason down south. I don't know if it's a specific person. They didn't have too many openings. But what I noticed with T Force down here, they were making claims about insurance being that they don't want nobody with progressive or whatnot. I don't know if it was something
Yeah,
strange or weird,
that's
but
everywhere now. Yeah, that's everywhere
so
now.
what I can tell you is my moves on what I do and what I look at is trying to do what everybody else is not doing. Like Mark is making fun of my diesel claim, right? Like, man, why you just harping on diesel?
I ain't
Because
making
I
fun of it.
no, you good. No, you good. So my thing is being unorthodox, right? Being unorthodox, which is why I harp down on why so serious, right? Um, what I look into is having progressive insurance is not really helpful, even though they're the biggest quote unquote insurance for commercial, right? And what I mean by that is I tried to get into Crowley, right? Mark, you know who
Sure.
Crowley is, right?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
So if y'all don't know who Crowley is the biggest mover of
Keep talking. Keep talking. I'm
Crowley.
just trying to share
Crow,
this channel.
Crowley is the biggest mover of government loads, right? So the thing about Crowley is when I end up going on a conference call because I ended up it's this program called I think it's called T-Pack something. It's something with veterans or whatnot, T-Pack or something like that. And they had a conference with Crowley, right? And when I submitted a carrier packet and I end up getting a contact, so I actually have a contact with the Crowley rep because rather than a broker going and getting a load with Crowley, I can be the direct person to hit up Crowley, right? So when I submitted my carrier pack and I told the lady I submitted it, she came back and said, "You don't qualify." I said, "What do you mean? I have the best insurance out here on the market." In my mind, right? And what she told me was that I'm missing the certain things. I'm missing certain things. And so when I called Progressive, they
You didn't
said,
have a
"We don't."
broker.
No, no,
When
no,
you
no, no. It
first
wasn't. Huh?
when you first got your insurance, did you do it online yourself or did you have a broker?
I had a broker. It's funny that you asked me that. So I had a broker originally, and then the broker fell off. Like he just disappeared. Like I don't even know where this guy went.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did my renewal, I did my renewal with an actual Progressive rep.
Mm-hmm.
And saying that when I called Progressive, they said they don't offer what I need to operate loads for Crowley. So everything that it's so much and Ja making this, I know Ja, he's like, man, you hold it. Yeah, I'm holding so much because it's a lot. Like it's not something that you can get out in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But in saying that, I noticed that Progressive is not the insurance that anybody should hold if they're trying to, how can I say it, not only lower your costs, but expand your business and then going in the government sector. So if you want to be honest, I plan on going into the government sector. So that's where I'm making my big move at. That's where I'm adjusting at. That's where I'm looking to make my big foot in or whatnot. But what I can say is if you are in this space and you're trying to do government loads, you do have to make sure that whatever insurance you is, for one, they have to have a higher rating. So a higher insurance rating. So what that means is they have to have a AAA rating or a AAA plus, a AAA or a
Mm-hmm.
AAA C or whatnot to move
Mm-hmm.
loads for Crowley. And I'm not talking about a broker that's getting the load from Crowley. I'm talking about going to Crowley directly, right?
Okay.
So that's what I noticed in between the insurance with Progressive and where I plan on going. So
Okay. Let me see. You got another. What's a few questions here? Let me just start from the top. All right. So, Grace Logistics. You can't add personal bills into business profit loss.
seem like
Sometimes it may seem like you're not making money if funds are going. So, I think that's the part where you were saying we was talking about your gross. We was talking about what you were bringing in or whatever. And you was like, well,
got
I
it.
got
No,
a
he got
family
it.
and bills,
He got it.
and then I didn't want to see. I hate to be the teacher
No,
on the
you
testimonial, but I said, you can't when your business and your personal is separate. So
mm-hmm,
when we ask business questions, we want to know the numbers for your business. What you pay yourself takes care of your family.
mm-hmm,
Your business don't take care of your family. You work for your business. I don't know how your business is structured, but you pay yourself from the business, right? I will hope you're paying yourself, and you're paying Uncle Sam, and you're paying the business, which is cash flow. We hope you're not robbing from the sustainability of the business. So what
why
he's
so serious?
saying is, well, it's business. It's all been all. It's business, man. You have made me turn into a teacher, man. This is testimonial.
Come
Damn.
on, man. I
Man,
love it.
so
Come on.
so what he's saying is when we were talking that part, and I kind of went into it, but I stopped. I said, "Well, Mark, this is testimonials. We'll
Yeah.
say that for another night." But since Grace is bringing it up, he's saying, basically when you were saying that you have to separate. Whatever your
Right.
business makes, whatever your business pays you,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you take care of your family. So going back to those numbers, a lot of people are kind of hard pressed on those numbers because the answer
Yeah, that's
just the
fine. I
answer
mean, that
we we
man, I'm not bothered by people and them pressing on numbers, man. At the end
we
of the
really
day,
we really didn't get the
I
answer.
still
We
live.
really didn't get,
No, I know
yeah.
y'all didn't get the answer.
So so
Where Jai at? What Jai at? Why so serious?
so so Grape saying if you made 150, if you gross 150, you spent 100, what did you spend the last 50 on?
Ooh. Hey,
But
can
but
we
you
put it?
said but you said you operated at a loss.
Yeah.
So he's basically saying if you gross 150 and you spent 100, what did you spend the 50 on if you operated at a loss? Because if you didn't spend it on something, then is what the business made.
Right. What did I spend it on? Can I plead the fifth, man? God dang.
But see, man, when you come on testimonials, man, when you come
Hey,
on, you,
nah, I'm not
you
tripping. I'm not
so
tripping,
so
son.
but I don't think you I don't I think you need to go. You did your taxes, right?
Yeah.
I think you probably should just not,
Nah,
till you
so
till
so 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 at the end of the day, what I can say is I don't have my numbers in front of me to go
okay.
because you got to think about
Okay.
it. We talking about 150 and we talking about I'm spending 100. God dang, I didn't make true 150,000 and I didn't spend 100,000. So at the end of the day, I don't have my numbers in front of me to give the true accurate. Even though Mark, you're a whole different beast about, man, I know what I made my whole first year or whatnot. So at this point, like I said. Brothers just trying to survive, man. Living to survive, trying to survive to live.
You do your numbers though, right?
Yeah, I do my numbers. I do my numbers.
Okay.
But I don't do my numbers on a consistent basis like that.
Did you ever
Grace
go
called
ahead?
me out. He said, "You don't miss business and personal."
Yeah. Did you get your CDL for free in Texas?
I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran. So what I got into was the I look for so long story short or a short story is remember I said I operate Monday through Friday, so I couldn't go over the road like that because I had school on the weekend. So
Okay.
with my school being on the weekend, basically I would get home Friday night or Friday, and then I would drive out to school Saturday morning, Sunday morning as well. So yes, being that I'm a veteran, I went to school for free in Texas. Yes.
Okay.
Not all veterans qualify. So of course you have to be, of course, the schooling for veterans, you have to be honorable discharge, all that other great stuff, right?
All right. So Great Polo says, if you operated in the red, how did you keep your truck? What is your secret?
My secret was just doing my due diligence on calling each broker. Um, like all y'all do, right? Calling each broker. But I made myself stand out even more, just going back to Mark's question by I noticed this between my negotiating tactic. So my negotiating tactic was not trying to get straight to the point. I was actually trying to build a rapport with the broker. And what I
I,
noticed is what I noticed is they were giving out a little bit more money or whatnot.
I think
And
his question, not to cut you off, but because I don't want you to go on and on, because I think what he's saying is if you operated in a loss, and I think I'm going to cut off these questions because I think it's a disconnect somewhere. He's saying if you operated in a loss, as far as what's the secret. So let's say it's my first year in business, we make
mm-hmm,
200,
right.
right? But we spend 250.
Mm-hmm,
So I'm at a loss 50 grand. All right.
right.
So I had to pull that 50 grand from somewhere,
Mm-hmm,
whether it was credit cards, whether I had to take out a
mm-hmm,
loan, whether I
mm-hmm,
had to take out a business line of credit. Once you
mm-hmm,
start operating a loss, you got to source that money because you're spending more money than that you're spending more money that's what's coming in.
right.
200 came in, but you spent 250. So
Right.
basically, where did you source the 50 grand from? Because you spent more than what you brought in. So
Mm-hmm,
you had to source that 50 from somewhere. A
mm-hmm,
loan, a business line of credit, business credit
No,
cards.
that 50 came from the business. If I made 150 and I spent out that 50, I took the 50 from the business.
Okay.
Over time. Over time. It wasn't right then and there.
Okay. Did you get into now? Wait, did you get into now and see what requirements need to get your ducks in order? I'm gonna read it, but I don't. I don't. Did you can get into now and see what requirements needed to get your ducks in order? Hey, re-ask that question. I think you
Divide. You said did you divide?
divide divide. Yeah, restructure that question and ask it again. He's only answering questions. So if you got questions for me, I'm passing up the questions for me. That's tomorrow night. Testimonials is just questions for the guests, guys. Hit that like button too. Pippi says hit that like button. Hit that like button. Da, 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 da.
So
Oh
you got
man,
try
I ain't gonna
USA.
I ain't gonna ask that question.
What?
Jarrell got it. Yeah, Jarrell got it
Yeah,
in for you,
Jarrell.
man.
Yeah, come on now. Go ahead. Jarrell, what do you
Why
say?
you got a channel for if you're not really trying to give the info that people need?
Says who?
Uh,
Who said that I was open to give up info? I'm so confused. I'm documenting my journey. I didn't say that I'm putting out classes or I'm trying to take people. I'm telling you my story. My story is unique, Ja. So I mean, you and your feelings because I'm not answering your question. I mean, sorry, bro.
I
Why
think
so serious?
James was saying you have to know your numbers. Jarrell says thank you for serving.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
appreciate your service.
Yes, sir.
Uh, oh, he was talking to. Okay, so James was talking to somebody in the chat. All right, so if it's not any more questions for Sirius, uh, yeah,
Yeah, everybody want to know, bro. You don't need a class to tell us simple info.
hey man, hey
Your guy's
man,
funny. Why so serious?
hey man, I
Hey, hey, Mark. Everybody want to know my numbers, man. They want to
I
know my numbers.
you
They
know
they.
people, from so
That's what I
here's the
found unique.
here's the thing. Since I came to the internet, people always want to know numbers. You know what I'm saying? People want to know
Yeah,
numbers. You can throw numbers around. You know what
you
I'm
can.
saying?
You can.
Some people require you to show your numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
So,
here's the thing: if you play that game and you start to
hmm
play that game as far as telling and showing numbers, then
hmm
then once you start it, then that's where you got to go.
yeah,
I was challenged last year by an individual who who was who drove his channel off transparency as far as the numbers, showing the numbers, and then
right.
challenged me as far as, well, man, my information and just my knowledge over time, solidified, my space. Then later on, you had employees come up and solidified certain things and so on and so forth. But if you certain questions like that, once you start to answer those questions, then you got to go with it. So it's either like you answer them or you don't answer them. But
Yeah,
it is
my
what's it.
so here's my take on numbers, right? Because I think people got have this whole claim about they should know other people's numbers. And what I noticed, because when I first got into the trucking, box trucking, whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm,
again, what made me get into it was the numbers, right?
mm-hmm,
So what I realized is my numbers weren't the same as what everybody else was pulling in because my situation was different, right?
mm-hmm.
And my thing is, okay, so how are you still here if you made this and then you took this or whatnot? But at the same time,
You reading
No, you
comments,
read.
bro. You can't,
Yeah.
you can't, you can't, you can't stop your thought, bro.
No,
You
no,
gotta
no,
keep
no,
going.
no, no. I just had to read the comment because I mean, Ja, he interactive. I like interactive, but my thing on numbers is basically everybody's situation. Long story short, everybody's situation is different, and what I notice is everybody want to compare themselves to other people,
Mhm.
and what I notice is everybody personal is different than everybody else stuff. So I have a lot of overhead that I took the hit on, like that ram and that truck. And when you talk about that loan that I took out, come to find out, I can't even get out that loan until I'm in year 3, even if that.
Which one?
So uh the truck, the
The
truck.
title loan.
Yeah. No, 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 no. Not Navy Fed. We talking about the commercial loan for the truck.
So you got
So
a pre. So you signed off on a prepayment penalty.
yes, that is
So
correct.
basically, if you
That I
pay the
did that
truck
I
off,
didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't pay attention to it because I was excited to get the truck. So think about it. I'm excited to get the truck. So in my mind, again, this is a lesson learned. In my mind, again, and I want y'all to pay attention to y'all paperwork. In my mind, I'm thinking
this
like,
is this
okay,
is this is good information. See, I didn't, you know.
in my mind, I'm thinking I have $20,000 equity, if that makes sense. I don't
Mm,
have no equity in this Hino box truck, other than me holding on to the truck for 3 years. Does that make sense?
mm,
So if I go to somebody and I say, hey, well, look, I want to trade in this truck. How much would y'all give me? If they telling me they want to give it to me for the payoff being 35,000, for example, I'm just throwing a number out there, and they pay the truck off, right?
mm.
The actual commercial company send them the actual title. I would think that I'm getting my 20,000 back, right? That's what you would assume, being that if it was a
No,
regular
no,
loan.
no. That the 20,000 that they loaned you, right? You gave that 20.
I gave up front. That's up front. Remember, twenty
You gave
thousand dollar
right.
down payment.
Who did you get it? You gave that 20 to
It was
the
the down
company,
payment. So 10,
right?
10 a rider, and then the other
You
10.
don't
But
you
that's the
you
down
you
payment.
you don't get that 20 back.
Yeah, no, no, you don't.
You
And I didn't
you
know that.
thought
I thought that was my equity. I thought whatever I was paying
no, no.
Yeah.
It's just like when
So
you went and got that Hellcat. You
no, no,
put it
no, no, no.
down. No, yeah. I don't know how you
So
bought the Hellcat. I don't know if you cashed
no,
out
no,
on
no.
it or
It's a
what, but
lease. No, it was a lease. It was a lease.
oh, it was a lease.
Yeah,
They
it was
let
a
you do
lease.
all that. They let you do all that.
Yeah. So they actually what did he say? They actually welcome you doing that because they know that somebody gonna come back and buy it. So
Okay.
yeah, the rules have changed. Yeah.
So so
Long as you're not messing with the engine. If you mess with the engine, then yeah, you void all that. That's yours.
yeah, so yeah, that money that you put up front, that loan when they gave that money and you went and you gave that was part of the down payment. You don't get that back.
Yeah.
They add that to the total cost of vehicle, and I mean, for every 1,000, they knocking off what, $17 off your note. So
So what they use it as is they use it as collateral. They use it as collateral.
right.
So basically that 20,000 is collateral. So they're basically saying that, hey, look, if you decide to sell, because they begging on me paying them for 3 years. Does that make sense? So they they're yeah. Yeah.
You signed the sub you took out a subprime loan. They had all type of
Mhm.
stuff in the contract, including a prepayment penalty. If you paid it off early, they would penalize you for it. Which, I don't want to say you don't sign those types of loans because you could come into an egregious amount of money and just say, "Hey, I want to get out of this." But that's how they make their money. The
Yeah.
longer you paying them, the more money
Yeah.
they make off interest.
Yep.
But you admitted to it, and I got to give you a round of
Yeah.
applause because that's what testimonials is about. I
Yeah.
know
No, no,
you
no.
going,
My
you
situation
know,
is different. Yeah.
I mean, because it might not sound like the most,
No,
the
it's not.
best way to go about it.
It is not.
And if I would have known you then and you would have came to me and asked for advice, I would have consulted you against it. Ultimately, the decision was up. It's gonna always be up to you, but it is a good learning lesson because, like I said, testimonials is for people to learn from other people. It's okay. You can sit up here and listen to me and Kirk all the time, but we ahead. We came into the space in a different time. It was a lot different. So that's why I created this so people can learn from other people that are in the same situation, whether it's something good or whether it's something bad. Obviously, this is something that, you know, people watching this want to avoid. You want to avoid a subprime loan.
You want to
I
avoid
don't
it.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care how excited you are. I don't care how
Yeah.
excited you are. You do not want to put yourself in that situation. By the grace of God, by the
Mm-hmm.
grace of God, Mr. Serious Lanes has been able to, uh, withstand it. But you don't want to do that because their ultimate goal is to make money off. They want you to stay in that loan. If you
Mm-hmm.
can stay in it
That's correct.
forever, they will welcome it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
correct.
That's why
That's
that's
correct.
why it's a prepayment penalty. They want to
Yeah.
make sure we getting 3 years at
Yeah.
least up out of you. We
Yep.
make money off selling money.
Mm-hmm.
This is how they make money. We sell you money. They selling you money.
Mm-hmm.
In
That's
order
what they
for
told
us,
me.
in order for us to make money, you need to be in this loan for 3 years.
That's what the so what's so funny is when I was trying to trade it in and try to figure out how to move out of it, because I'm like, man, I say, I me personally, I'm like, okay, I want something else, right?
Mm.
So when I started investigating even more and talking to the representative, they were and if y'all want to know the lender is Dakota Financial. So Dakota Financial. And what they told me was that sir, this is what he
Dakota
said.
Financial.
Yeah, Dakota
Oh,
Financial out in California. So what he said was, sir, he said, sir, I don't know who told you about this type of loan that you have, but how we make our money is based on the loan that you have. So if you decide to give this truck up, then guess what? Then that 20 is ours. But at the end of that 3 years, you can either decide to turn it back in and we can give you the difference of that 20,000, or we can give you the actual title and take that 20,000 as you paying buying the truck. So basically, long story short, if I decide to take the title in 3 years, basically that's my truck. Long story short. So basically, I'm paying a egregious amount of money for this box truck. And
what's your interest rate again?
interest rate is I think it's 18. I think it's 18. It's high. It's high as hell. I think it's 18. I think it's 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's high. It's high. It's high.
So
So
so so you advising people to not do what you did as far as buying a
no,
truck.
I would advise anybody not to go with a subprime lender. If you have enough money, I would actually recommend you go to an actual auction. There's a lot of auctions out there. So if I had to write it right again, right my wrongs, I would actually go to the auction or give me a box truck at the time. But again, when you don't have a lot of information, you're gonna have the trials and tribulations.
I appreciate you for being honest, man.
Oh
That's
yeah, you know, I'll be
yeah.
honest as much as I can.
Well, you should always be honest, but this somebody, whether they're in here now or in
Hmm.
the future when they see us, is gonna learn from that.
Yeah,
So that's where you're gonna get your blessing from telling your story, and other people avoiding. Your next time around gonna be better though. Your next time
yeah.
around is going to be better. A few more questions here. A few more questions here. I see I'm gonna have to jump around some questions. So let me jump around some of these questions.
What you got?
You left
Why you jumping around? No, let's.
because man, some of these people they it's
Man,
rough.
I like the trolls, man. I go watch
All
some
right,
series because
all right.
I look
How did
at it. I look at it like this, man. People worried about my numbers, but you got. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do
how did you get your authority rolling starting out?
that. I did all my filings. Do not pay for anybody to do your filings. Do all your filings yourself. So a little bit of market research. So a couple of YouTube videos, market research. Um, just make sure that you have everything in line with your insurance as well. If you don't have a truck, what I did was I used the budget rental that I was supposedly getting, and they gave me the VIN number, and I used that for my authority to get active. So remember, I
Okay.
sat on that truck for about 2 weeks. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Sat on that truck for
Okay.
about 2 weeks.
Here's a good question. I'm curious to hear. What did you learn from watching other people's box truck channels?
That my situation is different from everybody. I think if anything, everybody talk about numbers, everybody talk about race, but you know, every the what I notice about the transportation is somebody can say, "Hey, go down to Michigan because they got loads," but the minute you go down there, it's gonna be a different tide. So, especially depending on when that video was put out or whatnot. So,
Mm-hmm.
what I learned is everybody. If I can't tell you anything, Ja, because Ja is the one that's peeping, and creative investor. What I can tell you all is everybody's situation is different. I don't care if you looking at my content, I don't care if you listening to Mark, I don't care. Everybody's situation is different. What you don't know is personal. Personal is personal. So at the end of the day, when I realized coming into this industry and everybody was talking about this and that, I'm like, God dang, I gotta get on the grind. That first year, right? That first year was that grind. Because I was trying to survive between all those payments.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What, numbers. I don't want to come. Hold on. It's much more than numbers. I appreciate you sharing your journey. I don't want to come off as a pose, but we just used to getting all the game on this channel, so it's my. He blamed it on me. It's my. It's my.
Hey, hey,
Hey man.
that's that
Hey
typical
man.
American stuff.
Hey,
Hey,
listen.
hey, you got a channel. You need to be providing. I need these numbers. This guy didn't
Oh.
provide the numbers, Mark. He didn't meet. Look,
Hey.
I didn't meet the cut, Mark. Mark,
He
I
blamed
didn't
it
meet
on
the cut.
me.
Yeah,
Oh
I didn't meet the
man.
cut. You
Hey,
got me
look.
on.
Hey, so look, on Wednesday nights, you can't blame Wednesday nights on me. I answer questions when I'm on here by myself, but if it's somebody else on here on testimonials, man, you can't blame that on me. You
Yeah.
can't
So
blame it on me.
like I said, I when I first got into this to transportation, I didn't have no strategy, and I'm still trying to figure it out now. So I'm not. I have never once said, even on my YouTube channel, that I have the blueprint. I'm literally saying that now, even to this point of what is this? August 16th, 2023, that I'm
Mhm.
still trying to figure out this industry. And you know what's so crazy? What's so crazy is when you think you know, you don't know. Because it a rug is just pulled. You got, I'm not gonna even get into that. I'll do that in my own on my own channel. Yeah.
Okay. They say numbers help us learn. Talk in general about the numbers that helped you stay in business. Let's leave numbers alone. In all fairness, I don't think. Let me see. Do you feel the lender you went with was your last resort? With good personal credit, surprised you couldn't get a better lender. With good personal
Um
credit, he's surprised you couldn't get a better
so
lender.
I was kind of at so I was moving off of desperation at that moment.
Mm,
I'm not going to lie to you. At that moment, I was moving off desperation. I did go between two lenders, and coincidentally, they contacted the same lender, Dakota. So I went with
mm.
two different brokers as far as the commercial financing side, and they had both of the same.
You went with a
n-
broker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. You
yeah.
just man, you just man. This
What
man,
look?
this
What else you want to know, Mark? What else you want to
man.
know,
You
man?
just man.
What else
This
you want to know about my situation, man? What
man.
else
It's a
you want
lot
to know?
of it's a lot of twists and turns to this story, man. You
Yeah,
didn't say it was with a broker earlier,
yeah. So I
so you
didn't
went
know
with a
that though.
broker.
I didn't know that, man. I'm telling you, it's when I came in, it wasn't like it wasn't like I was asking. I didn't ask Kirk for this information. I more so did it on my own because I was like, man, I got to find my own way. And sometimes when you find your own way and you don't ask those questions, then this is the repercussions of it now, right?
Why didn't you
Oh.
go to Kirk? Why didn't you ask
Um,
Kirk to consult you?
man, man, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I guess I, seeing that I was using his truck and I was trying to do my own thing, I kind of felt like in my opinion, in my eyes, like, man, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna figure it out
So,
myself. So I didn't have no relevance to even try to ask him or whatnot. It was my mind was eliminating the bill of paying for somebody else's truck. That was in my eyes.
so you didn't want to go to him basically to say, man, help me get out of me paying you this money.
Right. Right.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'll get to the
Yep.
next question.
Yep.
Well, Kirk, well, I guess you probably didn't know him that well as you probably know
No,
him
no,
now.
no. So
So,
I mean, but at the end of the day, what I can say is Kirk truly gave me. I wouldn't even say gave, right? I would
mhm,
actually say he gave me the intel um to navigate in this transportation space on partials, and also on how to navigate even as a transportation company. So he actually gave me the foundation um, to how to move, how to navigate, how to look at things.
okay. All right. Well, you read Creative Investor, so I mean, I can bring it up
Which one?
whenever I
No,
want.
put it up. Put it up. We don't shy away from nothing. Put it up. Put it up. Dude
Do
don't know. Dude don't know
what
what
do
he
you?
talking about. What he doing? He need to be working somebody. Okay. Everybody ain't meant to be a business owner, and you can't lease Hellcats. He had a scat. So you mean to tell me I can't lease a Hellcat? Okay. All right.
I wouldn't know, so
I
I don't know.
I mean, hey, I mean, people think they know it all. It is what it is. You know, look, I can't get mad about people that think they know it all, man. All I can hit you with is that why so serious.
Are numbers not the proof of either how successful your plan in your situation is or not?
Um, I think numbers are important, but it depends on how you look at it because everybody views on numbers different. I know Mark is concrete by the book. If you watch Mark content, Mark concrete is literally about business because you can have your bachelor's in business, right, Mark?
Hmm.
Yeah. So Mark operation is clearly on numbers and how things are structured. Not saying that that what he puts out is not relevant or right, but I go about doing things in an unorthodox way. So how
I'm
see it's
sorry.
not no,
It's
it's driving
funny.
you crazy. I love it. I
Nah,
love it.
because it's business, man. So when you
No, no,
say
no, no,
that,
no. I'm
man,
not.
like,
I'm not. I'm not saying that I don't operate to not look at things how you look at it, Mark. But what I say is, I take little bits and pieces, and I sit back and I think about it in other ways.
mhm.
So I don't do the foundation that what you go to school and you use because I know when I'm watching. He said I'm tweaking. I hit that tweaking button.
You want me to? I ain't gonna hit it, man. but but
Oh man.
but here's the thing, because when you said that unorthodox, man, you kind of just
No, it got your wheels going. I know.
you have to have. Here's the thing. I know your situation. See, with me operating when I was at scale, at the
Hmm.
peak and the height of my success, numbers are very important when you
Right.
have 30 some employees relying on you.
That is correct.
You know what I'm saying? I need to know what's coming in every week because I
Right.
got money that's being held up and
Mhm.
things of that nature. And I got all these people I got to pay. My
Right.
numbers have to be precise.
Right.
Numbers are very important. Very important. Very important. So, like you said, when you watch my content, I take it I take it very serious. The reason why I take it very serious is because this is all my years. These are
Right.
these are my years of experience that I'm giving out and I'm presenting.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That was
Yep.
these years is I done went through a lot in these years. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
And then
Yes, sir.
on top of the fact that once you add the book education there,
Mhm.
I didn't get a scholarship. My OG
Right.
paid. She
Right.
she was a public school teacher.
Yeah.
So she worked after school. She worked summer school. to
Mm-hmm.
pay my way. So if I'm giving information that I learned from a combination of college, right,
Mm-hmm.
plus years of experience, I take it serious. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She worked hard to send me through school
Right.
to understand the fundamentals of business. So uh that's why I take it so serious. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? When I
Yeah.
present it, because I'm giving you stuff that, you know, you talking about since 19 I graduated high school in 98.
Mm-hmm.
June of 98, I started college September of 98, 3 months
Mm-hmm.
later.
Mm-hmm.
So 98 is when my business journey started as far as the education, and then obviously trucking later on. So, you know, I take it real serious, real
Mm-hmm.
serious. So
Yeah.
but if you take it unorthodox, deal, you know,
Hey, I'm gonna be out in business soon. I'm gonna be out in business soon.
no, no, you
Now,
you you
so
you 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 made it this far with the
I,
story that you've told me, and you still here. You know what I'm
I'm still
saying?
here.
So you doing something right.
I'm
You
holding
know, you
something.
you 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 doing something right, or you got a big old bag of gold somewhere that you could just keep
Nah,
digging
remember,
it.
nah, I ain't. I don't have a big old bag of gold because that Ram truck, I would have not gave them that blue title. I tell you that.
Oh, that's right. They do got the title to that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got yeah, you gotta get that title back, man. Hey, you gotta get that title back, man.
Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah,
man. You gotta get that
yeah.
title back, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So and again, I'm not trying to say that I don't use numbers. I don't heavily weigh on numbers like that, other than when I was thinking about hiring somebody, and I spoke
Mhm.
about that. Remember, I spoke briefly about that. I was just like, man, I was what you got?
But that's why you gotta know your numbers
No, 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 no. But yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
In order to start even having the thought
Scaling, yeah,
about hiring
yeah,
somebody, you
yeah.
already need to know your numbers to be able to know if you can
I'm
afford to hire somebody.
I'm not there. I'm not looking to do that. No, I'm not looking to do that. So that again, that may be a reason why I'm not heavily passionate on diving deep in, like what you were talking about with employees of 30, right? So
Mhm.
at this point, like I said, at this point, the way I look at it is surviving the storm. Surviving this storm. I mean, again, I got in when it was literally going down, and there's no telling what's gonna happen, right? I'm trying I'm still trying to figure out this contract that I didn't even pay too much attention to, and trying to trade this thing in, right?
I mean, that's a done deal now. I think with that contract, I think you really need to read that through. If you don't understand that contract, you need to have someone look at it that does understand it to kind of explain it to you, to kind of know where you're at. And
Mm-hmm.
then where, you know, once you get some type of grasp or some type of understanding on the contract, my advice to you after year 3, based on what you told me that you're going to get penalized if you pay it off prior to 3 years, on that third year, I would already try to have up a bunch of money saved up that I could aggressively, you know, try to pay that off as soon as possible. You want to come from under that as soon as possible, as soon
Yeah.
as
So
possible.
so I also, and I don't know, man. I just look at it like, how can I say? I remember you made this comment when I was on the live with you and Kirk, and you made a statement about getting out, right? I think I forgot what you said specifically, but you said something about find a way to not stay in or whatnot. And you
Talking
know,
about not staying, but divesting. No, have a long. Well, you said you really don't have a
I
strategy, a
no,
plan,
I don't.
but you do need to have some type of long term exit strategy. How long do you want to be in, you know, the business? You have a ten
And I
year
don't know,
plan.
and I don't know. See, that's what I don't know. I'm not going to even lie to you. I'll be transparent, and I tell anybody that's watching this live or that's watching this, I don't truly know, because it's hard for me to, how can I say it? It's hard for me to truly invest in something that's up and down, like the way I'm hearing a lot of people testimonials, right? The up and down all the time, and looking at the big name box brands, they not even holding up the test of times. You know what I'm saying?
Um, if you talking about yellow
No, no, no.
situation,
I'm just saying
it's
in general. In general, it's a couple of big companies outside of just Yellow that's not even that's also closing their doors, right? So I'm not just speaking of Yellow specifically, but they are part of it.
this happens every time there's a freight recession. A bunch of companies closed down in 2019. So this is a so this is a boom and bust industry. This is a boom and bust industry. That's just the way this industry is. It's boom and it's bust. Right
Hmm.
now it's bust. But it's gonna boom again. So, you just have to make sure that you're prepared for the boom mentally. If you're mentally prepared for the boom, then you'll be fine. And then you understand the business, you understand that it's a boom and bust industry, you know that when it's booming, eventually it's gonna bust. The issue with the pandemic is you had the ushering in of a lot of people who just weren't business savvy, who didn't understand business, right?
Hmm.
So they were in a boom cycle, didn't realize it was a boom cycle, didn't understand what boom and bust is. They just thought that it was what it was, all
Hmm.
right, and they didn't prepare for the bust. You see what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So I think a person can survive if they understand the industry that they're in. That's why I always say don't invest into something that you don't understand. If
Hmm.
you understand it, you'll survive it, regardless
Right.
what the season is, boom or bust. If you understand business, you can make it in any business.
Right.
Me and Kurt was just laughing the other day. Um, we was laughing the other day about how we divested during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? We divested. Kirk had what 3, 4 trucks. He sold them all. Why? When are you ever going to get a chance? Probably never again in my lifetime am I ever going to get the opportunity to sell a depreciating asset for more money than what I paid for it 10 plus years ago.
Right.
So we both sold off trucks.
Hmm.
We sold depreciating assets for more money than what we paid for them.
Hmm.
We'll probably never see that again. That's business. That's being a smart business owner. Yeah, I was looking at the fact that I probably never operate uh how I was able to operate prior to the pandemic. That thought was in my mind, but I can sell off an old truck for more than I paid for it back in 2012, 2013, 2014.
Hmm.
It's time to start unloading.
Mm.
That's what a smart business person does. Yeah, they were a bunch of suckers. But what do we care? That's your
Right.
fault you don't understand. That's
Right.
that's not our fault. That's your fault that you're buying a depreciating asset for 3 times the amount that it's worth right now.
Right.
It's business. So if you understand business, you'll understand how to maneuver through boom and bust cycles. So I'm saying all that to say this because you said you didn't have a strategy multiple times. My advice to you, get you a strategy, brother. Put you together a business plan, a strategy. You got to do it, bro. You got to do it, bro. That's my homework for you.
Damn. Thought I
That's my
was out of
homework.
school. Why so serious? Come on,
That's
man.
that's my homework for you. And if you need help putting together a plan, I'll help you. But you got to do
Okay.
it, bro.
Okay.
You got to
Okay.
do it.
Okay. I'll take you on that. I'll take you on that. I'll take you on that. I will take you on that.
So whenever you ready, let me know. We'll
Oh,
work it up. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm serious, Mr. Lanes. I'm serious. You want to answer a few more of these questions or what?
yeah, no, come on. Come on. I don't mind interacting with the people. I like interacting with the people, good or bad,
Uh,
in
uh,
between.
let's see. Do you run your business on low board or contract, sir?
Just low board. No contract. I tried to get a contract, but nobody has bidden on the numbers. So I put up a plan and everything, all a nice little portfolio, but I haven't received any callbacks yet.
All right. Somebody said you didn't read the contract. Can you
No, I
refi the
didn't.
truck? You didn't read it. Can you refi the truck to get a better? Nah, you can't refi the truck.
Nah,
He is
nah.
you
I'm
can't.
locked in it.
He
I'm
got
locked in the devil's deal right there.
let me see. There truck he got okay, the truck cost 54,000. He got 20K down from Navy Federal. He financed the rest with subprime. Where did he think there was equity?
I thought the equity was going into that actual 54K that you say. So if I got the truck for 54 and I put 20, I would think that me paying 30, the remaining 34 or whatnot was going to be obsolete to where I'm like, okay, well, I just paid off the truck under a year and a half or whatnot, if that makes sense. So what I thought was I paid down that 54 rather than financing for 54. So what they did was they used that 20 as collateral and they basically said, hey, well, we financed you for 54,000, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. So it's one of those deals where you wouldn't understand it unless you actually got into it or either read the contract. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna sit up here and say I knew what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing until I tried to when I was trying to figure out the payoff. When I got the payoff spreadsheet and I was looking over everything, I was like, okay, so what's gonna where's my down payment that I gave y'all? I don't see it on the spreadsheet. What's owed to me? And they said, we ain't give you nothing if you break this contract.
Right. All right. So creative investor, he got because he don't know what he doing. He not a businessman. That's okay. There's no more workers in this world. Brush should have just drove for Kirk.
Yeah, I
Okay.
should have drove for Kirk. You sure right. I should have. I'm
Uh,
regretting it right now. Why so serious?
did you get denied financing through Ryder? I went through Penske and got a
Yes.
discount for financing with them.
I
Okay.
did. I did get denied with Ryder because Ryder had a promotion at the time that if you qualify their financing, you would get 3 months free. And the
Hmm.
reason why they said I got denied is because I had a new trucking LLC. So if I would have had 2 years underneath my LLC, then I probably would have qualified. If that makes sense, because what you say,
Go
Mark?
ahead. No, I'm
No,
listening.
no, because what I learned is the transportation NAX code or whatever is a higher risk. So and also being the fact that a new company underneath 2 years, two
Hmm.
years of establishment. So yeah, the a rider did deny me. They did deny me, and I think my credit score at the time I think it was 680. Just being transparent, 680, 680.
Yeah. Let's see. He had a relationship with Navy Federal. He could have just got the whole truck financed through them. Yeah.
Uh
Why didn't you get
why
the whole
did
truck?
um you know what? I think again I was running off of desperation, right? So again, just trying to get out of paying somebody for their own truck. And when so first I went with Bank of America. They slapped me and said no. Um Navy Fed, that didn't even come to my mind with Navy Fed. What came to my mind was trying to get money for a down payment at that point because I was already applying with, for example, Ryder, and then and then that's when they told me I got denied. So Navy Fed didn't even cross my mind. Just being honest, they didn't cross my mind. Again, I was just moving. I was just moving um, recklessly, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Not
Uh.
like I said, I have so on my channel I have all of this documented. I have all this documented. So
Everybody want me to hit the button. What? Hit the button?
they
No.
want you hit the tweaking button. They like, man, what is this guy doing?
I can't do it. You a guest, man. It's a show
No,
testimonials. I can't
man,
hit it.
no, man. But I look, I drove you through the wazoo. He's like, man, what is Lane's talking about, man? Man, unorthodox number. See, I told you I'm gonna come over here, and I told you I said, man, I'm gonna do that. Why so serious on you? I
Yeah,
told you that.
you making me work hard. This is
Oh
supposed to
yeah,
be you
oh
making
yeah.
me work.
I'm known
J-
for that.
so do you think, man, everybody can start and operate a successful business? No, they having another conversation. Let me see. All jokes aside, bro, you have to be on top of your numbers, fam. I have to do the numbers of the business. Without them, there's no business. Yeah, a lot of people, disagreeing with you about the numbers.
Oh, it
Like you got
wasn't.
to be on top of the numbers. I don't know.
I, it wasn't. It wasn't trying to get anybody approval. I'm just being honest. So this is a testimonial, right? So I'm just being honest and transparent. So I mean, like I said, y'all are more than welcome to watch the channel to see what happens next. So maybe the business goes, maybe it don't.
Yeah, a lot of numbers. To keep it 100, Mark taking it easy on you, but you need to do a second testimony and come with them numbers. This channel will help you get it together. Much love for your story.
Oh, appreciate it,
Uh,
great. So I mean, I watch Mark's channel. So everything that Mark put out his content, and one of the things that I don't know if y'all was in at the time, Mark also acknowledged that I was one of the first people to come on his live when I was also driving the truck. So I am very much aware of the content that Mark put out. Now, just because I don't follow what he says doesn't mean I don't agree with what he's saying. That just means I'm just doing my own thing. Like, man, hey, I told you I'm gonna make a run. I'm gonna make a run for everybody. I'm gonna make a run. Hey, I think
yeah,
this is the first time that you laugh out the chair.
man, man. This is my second episode, and this is from the
Hey,
last week to this week. Man, this is
hey.
like
No, the
I was
first
like,
one, the first one was good. I think I topped this. This is a topper right here. This is a
yeah, it's a
view. This is a
topper.
viewer right here. They
Yeah,
watching. I like
next
it.
week. Let's see. Are you still doing? You were doing real estate? Are you still doing real estate?
I was doing real estate. Unfortunately, I'm not. I don't know if you want me to get into that. It's a quick one.
You want to do it in less than a minute?
Testimony, right? So I was doing real estate, but I ran into a tenant that that I did not do my due diligence on. So I had one tenant at first, awesome. Second tenant, she I just didn't do my due diligence. Do I regret it?
Yeah.
I do because I know how much the value of the house is and how it's going for.
Hmm.
So I take it I take all my losses as lessons, and I don't harp down on them. Right. So again, talking about this loan, I take that as a loss and I keep on moving, man. I'm not about to sit up here and just keep on marinating on it. I'm not
Hmm.
about to do that. That's what I don't do. But no, not in real estate no more. No, that property is gone.
Bro, you got lucky because you work hard. Better to work smart.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So James, I don't know if you follow my channel or not, but my work ethic is stupid through the wazoo, stupid through the wazoo. So you may be right. Maybe I'm not working smart. So I'm gonna get with Mark and take his word on trying to figure out a plan. But I do bust my butt. Y'all take my numbers and y'all joke about the numbers. That's fine, but my work ethic is crazy through the wazoo. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you that.
Grace Logistics said I should give you Devo's number so they can go holler at your loan shark. That's how we do it in the shy.
uh,
You got that CDL, so now you in it for the long haul.
um. Ooh, man. Y'all hitting on topics, man, that I'm just gonna talk about because that CDL, man, that is a whole different beast. Man, that is a whole different beast. I didn't realize how serious holding a CDL is. Like it opens up more opportunity, but it also gives you it also is easy for you to lose it as well if that makes sense if you're not doing the right thing or if you get caught not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So
Mm,
yeah.
hmm. Okay. Uh, somebody said, "What's a loan?" Somebody owner operator. He can make moves by signing on with somebody as an owner operator, but not as an independent operator with his own authority. See, CDL. Let me see. I'm looking for questions. I'm glad I watched this great content. Shout out to Vernie. Appreciate you for watching.
Why so serious?
Uh,
Appreciate you.
uh, so the 20K went nowhere. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah,
Um,
I
so
go ahead.
great. So I wouldn't say it went nowhere. It just forced me to. I'm not gonna even lie to you. If I can't be honest about anything that I said tonight, what that 20K did between that contract is it forced me to pay these people for 3 years, right? To make something out of it. Because if I get out of this loan, right, then I lose the 20,000. So again, I don't know if you heard, but I have to go through this 3 years of paying these people. And then what ends up happening is I can decide to turn in the truck and they'll give me the difference of wear and tear of that 20,000, or I can take the title from them based on the 20,000 that I gave them 3 years ago, right? So I wouldn't say it's a waste. It just makes me more cautious of signing more documents and handing out a lot of money going forward, and to not just let this truck just go like that, right? So just being transparent on that.
I gotta find an underwriter who structured that loan, man. I need to
Yeah,
open up me
yeah. No, that was yeah,
I gotta find that underwriter, man.
yeah. No.
That
It
that
was that broke my heart because during up until the time that I asked about the financing part on the payoff and things like that and getting the
mhm,
the actual paperwork, I
mhm.
didn't know what situation I was in until I looked at the actual paperwork and I said, "Where's my?"
What made you look at the paperwork? Like, when did you look at it? Was it recently?
Yeah, it was recently. It was
So,
recently.
like a year later, what made you look at the
Hmm.
paperwork? What made you look at the
Because
paperwork now? The note? You were just like, man, this note.
mm-mm. It wasn't a
What
note.
was
It
it?
was the fact that I was trying to trade in the box truck, right? So I was trying to trade in that Hino, and I needed to know my actual payoff to go to a dealership to say, hey, well, this is how much I owe. Y'all should be able to cover this based on whatever trade in or whatever I want or whatnot. And when I seen the payoff amount and I seen that they didn't give me or they didn't have the number structure to give me back money, I was just like, golly, what am I doing? So I can't trade it. I can't, uh, like I said, I'm just in a situation that that's what I'm in. It can't go nowhere. Needless to say, it can't go nowhere.
Mm,
So I can park it, take off insurance, but I still have to pay that monthly note.
all right. Let's see. That's a side conversation. Navy Fed would have financed the whole 50K.
I believe
That's
it.
I believe it too. I meant to ask you that earlier, but you I did eventually end up asking you, and you just
Hmm.
don't remember why you just didn't go with them. But did you have any problems with filing your paperwork due to inflation?
What paperwork?
I guess you mean your filings.
What, tax filings?
No,
What?
your filings to go active.
Uh, no, because this was around.
Because
This was around what,
you said
22. Okay.
you said you did it all yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I did it all myself. Yeah, no, I didn't have no problems. I didn't have no problems. I just made sure that everything. Well, what I tried to do originally was I tried to register with a PO box, and they kicked it back, and then I had to use the actual residency. So that was the only thing that gave me the delay. So that actually kicked it back extra week, a week or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Uh, they said, man, if I hit the tweaking button, they're gonna pay me in the super chat.
Hey, hit that tweaking button.
Man, hitting that tweaking button, man. I can't
Hit
hit the
that.
tweak. I can't hit the tweaking button. Here's
Why?
the reason. I gotta have some type of ethics, man. I got integrity, bro. Like,
What you mean?
so
I
hear
just
me out.
told you about. I just told you about numbers. You was
Hear
like,
me out. Hear me out. The purpose of the Wednesday show is for people to talk about they wins and they shortcomings. So if we doing testimonials, I can't hit the tweaking button for someone that was gracious enough to come on the show and talk
Mhm.
about they
Mhm.
errors. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to hit the tweaking button. Like I got ethics, man. I got morals. So I'm not going I'm not going to hit the tweaking button on you even if the stuff you say is just way left field. I try to control my facial expression cuz sometimes I'm over here like what is, so
Man,
I'm
you know,
trying to keep the
hey,
straight I'm trying to keep the straight
hey,
face, you know what I'm saying? But I can't hit the tweaking button on you. I gotta have some type of integrity because the whole purpose of the show is to talk about your wins and your pitfalls. So I can't
yeah,
invite you on the show to talk about
yeah.
pitfalls and then put you in this circle and punish you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When that's the whole purpose of the show. We'll do that on Monday nights. We'll do that. We'll do it on Thursday
Hey, there
nights.
you go, John. Hey, hey,
Somebody
good
drop one
looking, John.
anyway. We appreciate it. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it, man. So
Hey,
yeah,
you
so
got
yeah.
man, you got more questions coming in?
Man, they got a lot of questions for you, man. I
Hey,
might have to cut the
come
questions
on,
off,
man.
man.
Look, hey, we gonna run it.
Uh,
Hey, we gonna run it. Come on, man. Let's get these questions in. Come
uh,
on. Let's see what else you got.
uh, let me see. Let's see. Trust me, I know. I mean, somebody I don't know. I see some conversation, but I don't know what we were talking about at the time to pull it
Yeah.
up. No doubt, you got to gather your knowledge and apply it to your own situation. I know mine. Let's see. Making a run at it
With no
making a
plan.
run at everybody with no plan, just winging it at the top dogs. I guess you saying you just winging it.
I am. I'm not gonna sit up and lie. I am. Plans change. Plans change every day, every moment.
With that CDL, are you gonna go up to that 33K
No,
gross box?
no. I'm not going. I'm not planning on going with no box 33K. I think that's a waste of money and time. With a 33 box, unless you have a company with numerous trucks at 33K, but not just for just one, not for 33K, but semi maybe. Again, I'm just looking at the options of CDL because it's so uh, diverse between where you can go. Right. I don't know if
Mm.
y'all heard me mention, but I mentioned dump truck, which is B, but you can diversify on so many levels of CDL. So I know everybody is hopping down on semi. So
You got a 3 year warranty with that 3 year
I'm the warranty. I'm the
prepayment
warranty.
penalty. Right. Okay.
I'm the warranty. I'm the warranty.
Respect for you sharing your journey. Mark got killers in his chat. You took it like a man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's what that military teach you. It teach you to take, well, shoot, some more than others, but it teach you to go in the fire and try to survive, right? So
Mm. Toreen says it's a private credit sourcing company, either owned by an insurance company, pensions, or private equity. Those are the
yep.
type of loans that give for commercial real estate. Keep your head up, brother. I'm
Oh
glad you are
yes.
telling. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I was just like, oh yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Most
I'm
definitely.
I'm glad you are telling us about the 20K. Even though this is a testimony, I'm learning a lot from you and your story.
No problem. No problem, great. Just make
Are,
sure you got those numbers in order.
are, are you running Amazon loads to supplement your expenses?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I am not. I know somebody gonna ask me why. So the reason why I don't run Amazon is because I have done numerous Amazon loads with uh with brokers, right? Not knowing that it was an Amazon load. So the thing that I like about not running Amazon loads is that you can navigate some of your timeline. So remember, I spoke about being able to move and navigate. So if I'm stuck
Mhm,
in traffic in Dallas or whatnot, I'm not gonna get hit between a late penalty if I'm supposed to be somewhere trying to pick up something. So I
mhm,
look at Amazon in a different light than I'm not saying you can't make money. I don't know too much about Amazon, but it's not for me. And many times I read Amazon, it's just too much. It's too much for me. I don't have the patience for it. I'm not a if y'all haven't noticed, I move based on how I want to move. If what you can see, right?
We can tell.
So yeah, I'm telling you, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I move how I want to move, and with Amazon, in my eyes, in my opinion, I'm gonna say my opinion. I feel like you can't move how you want to move with Amazon. So if they want you to be there right on the same clock dot, that's what you got to do, and that's not for me. That's not for me.
Shout out to everybody that's showing
Yes,
love
sir.
in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Jarrell for this super chat.
Yes,
Shout out
yes,
to
yes,
Mark and Mr. Lanes. Appreciate and much
yes,
love.
yes,
About to
yes.
get with you for instructional fund. I got that felony, but I know you got the sauce. Yeah, we could talk about it. There's
Oh
ways
yeah.
around that. But
Get that
appreciate that
money. Get
super
that money,
chat.
Ja. Get that money,
Appreciate
Ja.
that super chat. Appreciate that super chat. Appreciate both of you guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yes,
Hit that
yes,
like
yes,
button if you ain't hit it yet. We had at
yes,
one
yes,
point we had
yes.
100. At one point we had 107 in the chat. We got about 85 in here now. So hit that like button. If you haven't,
Mm-hmm.
this been a great show. So I mean, this the
Learn,
second
learn a lesson.
episode. No, this listen. When I thought of this show,
Mm-hmm.
I just started this show a few weeks ago. Maybe I did the first one last week. So I thought of it the week before last week. So I'm like,
Right.
man, let me try some. I try to create things to bring content in a different format where
Mm-hmm.
people can learn. So I'm like, man, let me
Mm-hmm.
let me box truck testimonials. Let me bring up other people that are in similar situations, and people can learn from other people.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'm glad I thought of it. And with this being the second week, it's just
Yeah. So
it's
I was gonna do
successful.
this.
You know, that's
Yeah. So I was gonna do this on my channel for myself, not too much on anybody platform, but
Mhm,
like I said, if somebody's asking me a question, I have no reason to sit up here and say what mistakes I made, what am I doing, what am I not doing. So
mhm,
like I said, my story is different from anybody else that's trying to compare. So
mhm,
what's so funny is I met a guy that worked at the airport and he had an egregious amount of money. He said he had an egregious amount of money saved up and he wanted to get in a box truck space. And I was just like, are you sure? Because I was telling him, I said, rates, cost, things like that. He made it his mind to get in this industry. And what
mhm,
I did was I actually coached him on what he should be doing. And he got everything he got going. And matter of fact, I recommend him to one of your box truck buying a box truck from Budget. I actually
mhm,
sent him that video because I told him, I said, do not I told him, I said, if you have that money, do not finance, because he was going, matter of fact, he was going to Ryder to
mhm,
go finance a truck. I said, don't do that. If you got that money, go buy your truck outright so you keep your costs down, that overhead down. And
mhm,
he followed your video. He went out to Phoenix to go pick up the truck, and he's like, "Man, I appreciate you for doing it, for giving me all that intel, because there was a lot of stuff that he didn't even know." And he was like,
mhm,
"Man, I got this, I got that." But then when he got in it,
mhm. What?
he was like, "Man, I got to go through this new authority thing and this and that." I said, "That's what I told you. I told
Mhm,
you." And those brokers now they harping heavy on that 30, 60, 90-day rule, just like Amazon, right?
mhm.
So, but yeah, so I that let me know that I know something.
Okay. Long as you point them in the right direction, that's
Oh
all that
yeah,
matters.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Let's see. Repairs. What about repairs? Savings. Have you had to do any, big repairs?
Mm, so if somebody's watching this and you own a Hino right now, go to a Rush or go to an IP truck. And the reason why I'm saying it is because right now my truck is in the shop and it's getting worked on for free. Uh, what I mean by that is Hino is offering this programming tool. Let me see. They are offering this program that's called the WEP program. So what the WEP program is, if you don't have a warranty, remember I don't have a warranty. So if you actually have a warranty, you can qualify. Your Hino truck can qualify if you have heavy soot buildup. If you have heavy soot buildup on your exhaust or in the exhaust or whatever it is,
Mhm.
they will not charge you to diagnose your truck to see if you qualify for this WEP program. Meaning, like, you know how when you take your truck to the shop just for them to look at it, they charge you an actual fee, right? So they're
Mhm.
not going to charge you that fee if they see that right out front. What they'll do is they'll go through your DPF, so they'll drop your DPF. They're going to run a system check on your injectors,
Mhm.
and they are going to replace those injectors in your DPF filter, all that stuff and more for free. So as of right now, my truck is in the shop and I just dropped it off Tuesday. And the reason I know about that is because going into your question, I do majority of, so that's another way I save money is I do majority of my actual fixes, right? So I had a speed sensor that went out, right? Or it was going bad. And how I know is because you know when a speed sensor go out, right, Mark?
Mhm.
So I went up to Hino to buy it, and I was just talking to these people at the counter. Again, being a people's person, I think that's the most important thing within this transportation business is being a people's person because you never know what information somebody is going to tell you. And they said, "Hey, well, you know, you can qualify for an oil change." I said, "No, I already changed the oil." And they was like, "Well, what about this program?" And by the grace of God, because I ain't gonna even lie to you, my truck was doing some heavy DPF that could have that I priced out at $8,000. So I priced it out at $8,000. So if you have a Hino box truck, take it over to a actual licensed Hino service place. So yeah. So
Mhm.
little nugget. I throw a little nugget in there. Little nugget in there.
Okay. I think Jarrell want to come on the show. Jarrell, if you ask him if you want to come on the show, just DM me or email me. It's the next 3 Wednesdays is booked out, so we can get you in sometime in September. But if that's what you're asking me, just go ahead and hit me in the DM. Or anybody that want to come up on a Wednesday on this show, just hit me on the DM or Facebook Messenger or email me, and then I'll book you. I think the next 3 Wednesdays are booked, so you want to
Mhm.
come up, just hit me, and then I'll schedule you to come up. Let's see. What is the contact info to get on the show? My DM, Instagram, Mark underscore the underscore mentor underscore. On Facebook Messenger, Mark the Mentor, or my email, mark at thementormark.com. So yeah, just hit me there, and then on one of those, and then I'll schedule you to come up September. I think the rest of August is definitely booked until like halfway through September. So
Good.
yeah. So I think that's it. That's some
Oh
songs.
wait,
I
wait,
think
you
that's
got
it.
yeah, you got one,
What?
you got Ja. Man, you know what, Ja? I'm gonna give you this, man. Since you gave me a hard time, so I'm gonna give you this. You want to know if you qualify? Nah, I ain't gonna do that to you. Nah, so Ja, you actually do qualify, man. Long as you if you have heavy soot buildup around your exhaust, you qualify. But even if you think you don't qualify, so what they'll do is if they don't see no heavy soot around your exhaust, right? So all they got to do is put their finger in it, and if it's black, then you qualify. But if you don't have heavy soot, what they're gonna do is they're gonna charge you that fee to basically go through the testing program, if that makes sense, right? If they run your injectors and do a test on your injectors and things like that, and they find out that you qualified, then you should be good on the injectors. But they still gonna charge you to look at to see if you qualify for the web program. And then it's a program. Once they do work on it, it lasts for 10 years. So see, man, y'all think I don't know nothing, man. See, man, look at these people, man.
All right, man. So hey, serious. I appreciate you, man. This was
I
a very,
appreciate you.
very man, this was an entertaining
I
and
got to
educational live.
be, yes, sir.
You had me working, man. Like
I got to
Live and work.
look.
Wednesday night is for me to just really sit back and just listen. But you had me in here working tonight,
I
man.
have to, man. You know, I can't make it easy on nobody. I can't make it easy on nobody. But you have a lot of testimonials, man. So I'm excited to see
Man,
the future people that join the live on Tuesday. So that's dope.
Wednesdays.
Oh,
Wednesdays.
it's Wednesday. Oh shoot, I'm tripping, tweaking. That
Now I could hit the tweaking button for that, but I ain't gonna. I ain't, I ain't gonna do it. Hold on.
nah, but
Uh, I have an
uh,
amazing and crazy box short testimony I would love to share. I was in and out the game because of a faulty Penske truck, and Kirky Fresh can verify my story. All right.
hey,
Yeah, just hit me on my Instagram DM, my Facebook Messenger, or email me at mark at I'll put in the chat thementormark.com, and then we'll get you up. We'll schedule you for September. So yeah, Axel said he wants to hear your military testimonial.
that's gonna be on
Yeah,
my channel, Mr. Axel.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah. So I have everything that everybody asking about and want to know this, want to know that, it's gonna be on my channel, y'all. So what y'all don't realize is I'm a content creator. I am a content creator.
Let me pull up your
Controversy
channel.
is what brings people in.
Oh,
Controversy is what brings people in.
oh, you gonna do one of them controversy channels?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See, I try to avoid that, but I don't
Nah.
know. I
That's
might
why
have
it's
to.
why so serious. That's why it's why so
I'm,
serious.
I see. I might. I've been. Somebody poked me the other day. I might do a little jab at me. Thought I didn't see it,
Oh
but
yeah. Say
hey,
man. Say
hey
man.
man,
See, people
hey man. Somebody threw a little jab at me the other day. Thought I
hey,
didn't see it.
hey,
Hey,
you had to shake the shoulder.
hey man. I'm trying to be cool, man. But
Man,
cause I know how I am, bro. I know
yeah,
how I am, bro. And some people don't need to poke the bear.
yeah.
What I did to Shorty a few weeks
Oh yeah,
ago,
I seen that. I seen
but
that.
but but some people don't need to poke the bear. Some people that's doing underhanded things. The best
Yeah,
thing they should do is stay away from a person like me. Leave me
yeah.
alone, especially if you're doing some bad business. You dig what I'm saying? Cause so
The streets talk. I already know. The streets
so a
talk.
little jab, I don't really worry about little jabs. You know what I'm saying? Little jabs, I ain't gonna really go in on, but I may address it, but I ain't gonna really go in on it though. But hold on, let me share your channel though, real quick. Let me see. All right, so there goes Serious Lane's channel. Make sure y'all go follow him. Serious Lanes, real simple on YouTube at Serious Lanes. Make sure y'all go turn them up. I guess you're gonna have to change that header, huh? Since you ain't got the Scat Pack no more. It looked like a Hellcat. That thing look good, man. You put some money into that thing, man. You there? Hello? Hold
Oh,
on.
there
You
you
got
go.
what? Oh,
Oh, there you
what?
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You was
No,
finna
what
mute it.
I was saying was hit that bell, Mark. You ain't hit that bell, man. I see you over
What
there
bill?
tweaking right there. You tweaking that subscribe button. Hit that bell, man.
I'm
Make sure y'all
already
hit that bell.
subscribed.
Nah, you subscribe, but you ain't hit that bell, man. Just stop tweaking. Hit that bell. Why so
Oh,
serious? There
oh,
you
you.
go. There
Oh,
you
okay.
go.
Oh,
There
I
you
didn't know.
go.
I
Yeah,
didn't
but
know
you're
it
right.
was.
You're right. I put a lot of money into that Challenger. I put a lot of money in that
Yeah,
Challenger, man.
I see.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see. You
yeah,
got some airbags in that. Change the
yeah,
light, the wheels, the tires.
yeah. Tire stickers, yeah, tent, all that, man. It was a lot of stuff I done to it. That was my show car, but yeah, man. I wanna close it out by saying, man, I appreciate you, sir, for letting me come in on uh this great Wednesday evening. Um, I like controversy because again, it has people talking. They're gonna be talking. I love this. I love it. Look,
You know why I don't like controversy? Because I can get real ignorant, bro.
Yeah,
I'm ignorant.
man, but you know what, Mark? I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I used to be the reason why I say why so serious is because I used to be so serious, like when you first came on the YouTube, right? I used to take
Mm-hmm.
everything so man, especially being a content creator. I used to take everything just to the flame, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized it's not even that serious. Like and this is a whole different story outside of box trucking, just life in general. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, I just appreciate you, brother, and I'm glad that you have progressed. I'm glad to see your journey in this YouTube space or whatnot. Cause I mean, from then until now, totally 360, man. Totally 360. People don't know
Yeah.
that I've been supporting since the beginning. So that's why when people talk about numbers and things like that, and he don't know the numbers, like I mean, let me play. But I,
You know, my audience, man, you know, my audience is I got a real audience, bro.
you
I got
do,
my audience is
you do.
and as far as the box truck, like as far as the other like I look at all the audiences.
Yeah,
My audience, they'll come for you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
think Kirk or somebody was telling me, man, your audience, they don't
yeah,
play over there, man. They don't.
yeah.
So
I think you had a
you know,
you had somebody last week that was trolling old buddy or whatnot. And he was like, "Nah, I got a guy. Was it Dragonfly? I think it was Dragonfly, right?"
oh yeah, Dragonfly. Yeah, he was in him. He was jabbing at you tonight. He didn't get serious. He didn't really go too serious with you. But yeah. He was last week. Yeah. What was you
Yeah.
finna say though?
No, no, no. I just want to say I appreciate you, brother, and I admire everything that you're doing within this space, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy the growth, big dog, because all you're gonna do is you're gonna evolve even more, just like in your transportation business, where you ain't gotta even do too much of anything. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm enjoying it. The watching you
Appreciate you.
grow, and I just want to say thank you for having me on. And hopefully I see Jai and a couple of those other people on the channel so they can watch to see what happens next.
No, they gonna come. They watching you. They definitely
Uh,
finna come watch you now after this.
I love
So
it. I love it. I love it.
you gonna start doing your little because Kurt was telling me you thinking about getting into doing live streams and stuff like that. So
Yes.
right.
Yes. So for those that are interested in as you see, I just this deal right here, I just bought this because I plan on talking more about my journey even more and what I experience and what I go through. And I plan on talking business, even though I don't know business. I plan on talking business and where I'm going at. You feel me?
Oh,
So again, what you say, Mark? If you surviving through this, then you can survive through anything, right?
yeah,
All
if you
right.
can make it through this, and especially with the way your deal is structured with your truck, then
Mm-hmm.
shoot, when things turn back around, you should be all set. When you
Ooh, don't say it like that. Oh, don't say it like that. Why so serious?
so man, but I appreciate you for coming on,
Yes,
man. I
sir.
appreciate you supporting the show. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm gonna continue to watch your journey. Any help you need as far as uh,
Mm-hmm.
because to pay you back for coming on, I want to help. Help you structure or strategize. You need to come up with some type of strategy. So we need
Mm-hmm.
to, I think, come up with a business plan. You got to have a plan, and you just don't
Mm-hmm.
have one. So whenever you're
No.
ready, we can jump on a Zoom. I can share my screen with you and lay out everything on how you should set up a plan, and then those numbers too. We got to get the terminology and the understanding of what we were talking about earlier, where I think the disconnect was.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe we need to. If it's up to you, I'm here
No, no, no.
if
I'm
you
no.
want.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna
Well,
take it. No, most
where
definitely.
I can kind of go over some things with you and
Mm-hmm.
sharpen you up in some areas to make you a better businessman. Because here's the thing, serious. Before we go, once you start live streaming, You gotta be on like you gonna live stream on your channel. Listen, you gotta be sharp, man. You gotta know these things because people will challenge you. People will challenge you, man. So they
Hey,
know real quick if you
so
don't like. You
so
gotta be
so let me
sharp.
ask you this. So let me
Yeah,
ask you this, right?
yeah.
I'm not looking to take no money from nobody and mentor or coach nobody, right?
Mhm.
So who am I to prove my numbers to anybody, right? No,
No, not numbers, just business.
oh yeah, business. Oh okay.
I ain't
Oh
talking
okay.
about numbers. I,
Oh
if
oh
you just
okay.
gonna talk, if you gotta talk business, you
Yeah
know,
yeah.
because what happens is the way people get subscribers and viewers on,
Hmm.
as far as this content, this is different from the car. Box truck is educational. People that watch content creators for this space, they looking to learn something. They're not really
Right.
looking for the entertainment purpose, right?
Mm.
As far as journey-based channels, it's only one journey-based channel that I see in box trucking that's successful. Only one.
Mm.
And without
Okay.
me naming, I think we all know who it is.
Right.
I'll give a hint. It's a couple. It's a
Yeah.
few couples, but it's only
Yeah.
one that's a journey
Yeah.
based channel that I would deem successful. Uh,
Right.
uh, uh, as far as the other journey based content channels, as far as this space,
And
that
that's what I do.
like nobody's watching that type of content. Just vlogging type content from
Yeah.
from from
A to
from
B. Yeah.
from what statistics have shown. Just in general, outside of box trucking, that whole vlogging
Hmm.
hemisphere, people are coming to YouTube for entertainment or
Hmm.
education.
Right.
So at some point, you may inadvertently, if you're saying you're gonna do journey, you may. So as long as you 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 know what you're talking about, if you do dibble and dabble into the education, you'll be
Hmm.
fine. But if you don't, people gonna come for you. They're gonna
Yeah.
come for you. So,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you'll do fine. Just keep doing your thing. Just keep pushing.
Hmm.
Um, keep pressing. Uh, and just be consistent. You've been on YouTube 10 years, so just be consistent, man.
Yeah. I
Be
appreciate it.
consistent, man. Be consistent, man. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, I just appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's watching it, that's watching the video now or that's watching it in time. Stay motivated, stay serious. Why so serious?
I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We got another special guest next Thursday. Next Wednesday, next week's guest. That journey, that journey is, that journey is gonna be real interesting to a lot of people. So make sure y'all here next Wednesday. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow night for another Thursday night. I appreciate you. Appreciate your service.
Yes, sir.
Good night, everybody.